Excuse me. All right. All right, let's go. I'm ready to watch some videos, get spooked. Probably spook someone else. Yeah. Sunday fun day.
Alright, so we starting this one still with Charlie.
Hell yeah. Yes, I have to see this, man.
I've never seen any of his videos.
Getting divorced over Yu-Gi-Oh. Some of his videos are fun and some of them are not. Like, you know, it depends on what the content.
Right.
And I like Charlie. I like Charlie himself, but like sometimes, you know, he's got a very particular sense of humor. That's for sure.
Right. I don't watch him as much as, like I don't watch him that much, but I do know he's not horrible. Like he's funny to me.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. It's content
a few nights ago,
like I enjoy
I watched
him,
a little bit of a video
like
called
certain
"I Got
topics
Divorced
that I don't.
Over Yu-Gi-Oh," and I went into it, you know, like lollipop and spinny hat, thinking it was going to be like good, silly fun. Like I thought it was like an exaggeratory title where he was telling a story about how his wife walked in like Seto Kaiba and ripped his blue eyes. Said, "Enough is enough. We'll play a shadow game to decide the fate of our marriage," and then they divorced or something. But the reality is, it's a very honest and open look at an unhealthy relationship, and it's one that I went back and finished the video for and have been thinking about since. So in a nutshell, this guy had a YouTube channel that was dedicated to Yu-Gi-Oh, and he was actually paying his bills through the content he was making. So it's not like this was a hobby that was destructive to him.
Okay.
You know, he wasn't going out on the streets and selling his butt for Yu-Gi-Oh briefcases of cards. Like, he was making a living through Yu-Gi-Oh and his YouTube channel, but his wife didn't really like it. She didn't have any respect for it.
At all.
Basically boiled down to he married like his #1 hater. And she eventually wore him down enough to the point where he did abandon the hobby and his YouTube channel.
Damn, come on.
Because she just thought it was kind of cringe, I guess.
Damn.
Like, I'm not saying in every healthy relationship your partner has to, you know, get into whatever hobby you're into, but at the very least, the bare minimum is being understanding and supportive of it.
Especially if it's making
I'm not saying she had to go out there and get a tier 0 deck or learn how to pendulum summon so she could start banishing assholes to the Shadow Realm. But maybe don't be constantly spitting and shitting on your husband for something that he's clearly passionate about and something that is actively making him money. I got divorced over Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh.
I need to say this. Straight out the way.
It would be.
No longer married. And I'm,
what? What you got?
I knew it was going to be somebody black, bro. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
That's what you were gonna go. I didn't
know
what next YCS is. We got so much time now.
That's racist.
When I met
at least he's the one that said it.
And I told her about my Yu-Gi-Oh. She hated it.
Yeah, I know.
She said that, hey, you can do something better with your life.
I mean,
you should go back to school.
Alright, I hate that.
He's got living his dream. He's making money off of Yu-Gi-Oh. I feel like that was
looked like a nice crib they sitting in too. That couch looked nice.
That couch looked nice. Yeah, that's a
I bet
nice
she had
look,
stupid hobbies too.
Nice artwork.
Everyone does.
Lights.
I said, you know what? Maybe she's right.
Oh no.
And you know what I did? I sold
all
my
no, he sold everything.
Whoa. Sold all my camera stuff. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it is time to move on. Maybe do something better with my life. Not knowing that at that time, what I had was very special.
Man.
At that time, something that I used to do, YouTube, I gave it up because someone said, hey, you know what? Maybe it is time to move on.
Damn.
You got to do something better with your life.
There are times where someone's hobby is detrimental to them, whether it's financially draining or mentally draining. Like, that is a problem, and that's where you
making you enough money to live.
It's time
that's what we all pray for.
Move on to something else, but that's not the case here. This guy had a
my hobby
YouTube and Yu-Gi-Oh hobby were helping sustain him and pay bills. So her coming in there, fee-fi-fo-fumming around, marching up to him, saying like, you gotta move on, makes no fucking sense. Like, that's so stupid. just basically saying it's time to grow up. You know, this is a children's card game. We don't do this as adults. It's time you be a real man, a real adult, and start doing crypto scams. Like, it's just silly.
And she's no longer here. And this problem persists. She told me at that time, hey, you want to meet my mother? You need a car. Because I didn't have a car at the time. I was doing YouTube. I was working from home. I didn't need to drive anywhere.
Chasing the dream.
I feel you. You don't need one.
I did for a living. That's how I paid my bills. And I was street performing also. How did I street perform? I just catch the bus 20 minutes down the street, played my horn, went home. I never needed a car.
He was hustling, bro.
He's doing good. Hey, that's kind of cool. I respect the hell out of that.
Man,
sounds like she didn't respect your hobbies.
Essentially doing what he loves, playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and then playing music.
And Juanita shat on him.
Damn, Juanita.
Like, there's definitely a limit to, like, if you're obsessed
with
her name is Juanita, it's actually a detriment of your life, which it doesn't sound like it was for him. Dude, then I can understand someone coming in and be like, all right, look, maybe we need to reevaluate this, you know, maybe, you know, collecting.
I feel bad for the homie.
Fucking, I don't know, jelly beans. And putting all your money into antique jelly beans.
If you're making enough money off Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm assuming you've got good cards and a good deck.
Finding something else.
You can't just get all that back.
It doesn't sound like it was to that point here. This is just sad. I imagine the channel was generating income. He just said he was paying his bills through YouTube and street performing. So he was making money. He was perfectly sustaining himself. At least that's the impression I get.
Happy, bro.
She was probably embarrassed to tell her friends what he does for a living. Well, then don't be with him. If you're embarrassed of your significant other, why are you with him?
For real! If you're embarrassed of him, then what the fuck? Like, how the fuck?
Don't be with him. It's bad for both you and the partner.
That makes no damn sense.
It happens a lot, although I've only seen it happen to one of my friends once, where he got with a girl that just really didn't like anything about him. Well, you know, like, what are you doing?
So how does that work?
Why are you choosing to be with this person if the goal is to change everything about them, to turn them into a blank canvas for you to paint on?
How they look or something?
This doesn't make sense. Find someone that's more compatible with the things you like at that point. Like in this case, she comes in and she just doesn't like any of it. You're going to flush Yu-Gi-Oh down the shitter. You're going to go back to school. Honestly, it sounds like a mom that's trying to, like, discipline their kid. Like, all right, no more Xbox. We're unplugging the Xbox, and you're going to go to school twice as much now. Somehow. We're gonna find extra school for you to go to. It's just so fucking toxic. This guy was doing just fine. He was providing for himself through his passion, through his ambition, his hobbies. But it didn't fit what she thought was acceptable. So she goes in there and tries to force him to do all of it, and unfortunately succeeds where he does abandon his hobbies and his passion for her, for this relationship. And that just shouldn't have been a sacrifice that he was forced to make for the sake of the relationship. He didn't need to tribute summon his hobby.
So like after he sells everything,
appreciation.
She's now like, okay, so now
is an acceptable
now I'm just
idea
gone. Like,
for an adult hobby. It was making money. It was paying his bills.
This is
and it's something he
way
loved
crazier
doing.
than I thought.
Why change that? There's really no argument I can think of for it. Sounds like she just hated Yu-Gi-Oh. She must have been more of a Digimon gal.
Facts.
So
maybe she's a Pokemon gal.
Man, maybe.
Cried because of those cards, and people say, "Hey,
she lives in that apartment because of the."
Or you know, you got to do what you got to do.
You tell me your wife was crying about Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
But then I'll be back.
That are making you money again. That's the most important part to remember.
Things that's a part
making
of my
money
life for someone else.
Like Charlie mentioned it, if he just had a ton of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and was spending useless money on it, and they're just building up collection and not doing anything, it's totally different.
Along with my journey instead of
then you could, like, hey, bro, you gotta chill out. We're
and then that's money.
Losing money on this.
It's not about the money, but that was money gone from me.
Yeah, it was his career. Man, what a disaster! What a shame. Imagine your Yu-Gi-Oh passion being so epic it makes your wife cry. My husband has mastered the shadow games.
I just am curious how they got together. Like, did he not tell her that he made his money off of Yu-Gi-Oh? The whole like beginning time, or?
I imagine that's how it works in most healthy relationships, brother.
Just dumb, yeah. That's probably it.
I feel like it's kind of important to have like respect.
That's probably it.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's kind of basic. He triggered her trap card of divorce. Now, another thing I was thinking about when I went back and watched the whole video is that there is a time where a hobby becomes too consuming, where it starts straining the relationship. Like, maybe he was always fiddling around with those Yu-Gi-Oh cards, by candlelight in like a dark room, and scratching at his neck for more Yu-Gi-Oh cards and ignoring his wife and letting the relationship start to crumble around him because it's always Yu-Gi-Oh all the time. But I don't think that was the case here.
It doesn't sound like it.
We'll see why I think that in a moment, the more he explains about how it got to that point. And it's not all about you.
No, her girlfriend started making fun of her, and that's why she ruined it.
Yeah, like she was.
That's exactly what it is.
Even that wasn't acceptable to her or her parents.
Pride is a motherfucker, man.
Beware of the jealous single friend.
What do you do
for real?
I had to tell them I am a musician. I couldn't tell them I was a street musician. I am a musician. Then they said, "Hey, you have a degree?" I said, "I don't have a degree."
I mean, you're making...
My ex-wife parents did not speak to me for 2 years and told her not to marry me because I don't have a degree.
That's fucking brutal, and to me, it blows my
her parents are a big issue, too.
This guy was doing so fine on his own. He was paying all of
chose
the bills. He was living
girl,
just fine.
One, the wrong girl,
through
and two, her parents are just probably the reason that she's like it. Obviously,
music.
It sounds like it.
And he'll talk about it.
Oh, you don't have a degree. They didn't even talk to him for 2 years.
And his wife through those passions. What? Yet they wanted him to just burn it all to the ground, fucking salt the earth, so he could restart with what they think is acceptable.
Oh my God, that's
going back to school to get a degree
right.
and getting a 9-to-5 job.
Oh yeah, they definitely was black for sure.
That he did do.
Damn.
Well, he got the 9-to-5 job and
or Asian
school, but school wasn't working out super well for him. But he did everything for that relationship to try and make her happy and
still
be
got
like
shit on.
an acceptable partner in his ex-wife's parents' eyes.
So I give up this YouTube thing. I give up my entrepreneurial thing.
Ouch.
I try to do something that's not a...
So yeah, what did you do? Yeah, exactly. So what did you go back to school to get a degree? Is that what they wanted? Like what?
To do something for somebody, to prove something. So when we got married and we moved out to Baltimore to somewhere else that I didn't want to be, she said, "Hey, how come you're not paying the bills?"
Is that 185,000 subscribers? Or 18?
I have a job. I have a 9-to-5 job. I don't make enough from this 9-to-5 job to pay all these bills. Before then, I could street performing in YouTube. I made enough money off of that to pay the bills. Now I'm working 9-to-5 all day long, and that's not a complaint because there are people who do that. But I had something that most people
exactly.
He had the dream job. He literally had the work that most people wish they had, which is their hobby, their passion, being able to sustain them, so they don't have to do something that makes them miserable just to survive.
Damn,
and he says like he gave all of that up for her and this relationship, and that new shiny 9-to-5 that he got to please his wife because she believed that was the only real way to grow up and move.
So what kind of 9-to-5 could he get to though?
Street performing music.
This is heartbreaking.
That 9-to-5 couldn't pay the bills.
Hopefully he can build up a channel of sorts
and
again
that's the
somehow.
Unfortunate reality.
If he had a little bit of a loyal
where
following.
America is right now. I've talked about this a lot. The normal salary you make at like a 9-to-5, you can't fucking live off of that in like a 2-person household. That just it's impossible.
I mean,
Things are way too expensive, especially in certain locations. It's just not happening. It's an absolute shame. It's a fucking crime. I'm not going to just rant about that. I've done that plenty on stream. He had a job that could do that. Like he had a job people killed over, and she just
hurt.
Like so many people,
I guess, wasn't
thousands and thousands of people are chasing for what he had,
making him money.
It's hurt.
So forced his
because he sold his shit. He gave it up, bro.
He made the choice. He ultimately chose.
Right. That's the thing. He made a choice though.
For her, but she was pushing him to do it, and now he's miserable with this 9-to-5, and she's not happy.
Well, that's the choice that you have to like. It's a weird choice. You would think you shouldn't have to. You would never have to really make that choice.
I'm like,
do you give up your passions for the person you're with, especially when the passions are paying the bills?
Last December, I start my channel up again. I buy my channel back from Java. Like, oh, she gave me the okay to go into hobby. You know what she said? You're spending too much time playing those cards. She says, why are you into those cards so much? I said, hey, I need to make a video about something.
After selling everything and starting over, he does eventually get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! To a certain extent where he picks up the hobby again, but his wife still just hates that the hobby he picked up was Yu-Gi-Oh! And YouTube. So he goes on to say how she just really didn't like it. That's when he gets into saying how she would like actually cry over Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's what I was saying, like, if it was completely consuming his whole life, where he was ignoring her and everything in the relationship was starting to just dwindle because he was too preoccupied with Yu-Gi-Oh!, I'd understand it. But from what I'm seeing and like going back to his channel, it doesn't seem like that was really the case. He was talking about how since he'd been away from the game for an extended period of time, he needed to relearn it. He needed to catch up on all the new things with Yu-Gi-Oh! So he could make content around it. So he'd be able to be knowledgeable on it, which is perfectly understandable, I'd say. And it doesn't seem like he took it to an excessive degree. It's his passion, it's his hobby, it's what he wanted to do, and it's what he was doing.
Seems like beyond that, it was also a job.
He recognized just how much of a gift being able to do that and make money off of it was, and he wanted that back. So he was getting back into the hobby. She still really hated it. One thing led to another, and now they're no longer together. And it seems like the big reason is because of Yu-Gi-Oh! The deeper issue is that she had absolutely no respect for his passion. She wasn't supportive, and it seemed like she was embarrassed of him. It's two people that should have never been together in the first place. He gave up everything he loved to try and make her happy, but she was never really happy with the man that he actually is. So it's just very incompatible, and they tried to make it work, and it didn't work. And both people, I think, were not happy as a result of the relationship. Hopefully going forward, they both find better partners. Hopefully this guy's starting over on his YouTube channel. Luckily, he was able to buy it back. Hopefully he's able to find that success that he once had. And yeah, just kind of wanted to talk about it because I just found it to be one of the more honest videos I've seen on the platform about a subject like this. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah, I'm greasy. What about it?
So do you know about this?
Haven't showered
before we go in. So he says that we were talking about this and we were interested, GME, like in the gamer situation. I don't know I watched the award show and stuff.
Yeah, I
don't know
what happened. I have no idea.
We both were just interested because we wanted to know what happened. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to see.
Big whoop.
I was curious if you knew what happened. I don't know what happened. I just enjoyed watching
Jeff
the Gamer
Keighley
Awards.
teabagged us all with some big announcements and some big awards. And there's a few things I want to talk about. First of all, that was the biggest stream I've ever done in my life. I had 110,000 peak concurrent viewers on YouTube.
Attaboy, Charlie.
50,000 on Twitch.
Damn!
130,000 total viewers on one of my live streams is unfathomable to me.
Attaboy, Charlie. Holy shit, homie.
Thanks to you for anyone that tuned in.
Damn.
That was cool. Big thanks to Jeff Keighley for making my biggest stream of all time. I mean, I worked really hard on watching the Game Awards this year. I put a lot of work into it.
I feel
That popped off so big for me.
That's kind of funny, but hey, good shit.
Aside from that, there's some things I want to talk about.
He's been in the game for longer than just about anybody.
The big talk of the town. Game of the Year. First and foremost, there were some big announcements that I absolutely think are worth getting excited for. Some shit that I don't think even Baba Vanga would have predicted were revealed at the awards show here. I know there's a ton of naysayers saying nothing good got shown. It all looks like trash. But I would say don't listen to the meat chip eating weirdos that are still soiling their diapers. Like, that is actual delusion. Sure, you can say, oh, I'm not really looking forward to, maybe the next Elden Ring game, which I'm going to get into in a moment because it seems it's going in a weird direction.
Oh, there is another Elden Ring game?
To say that there were no good announcements blows my mind. We got a fucking Okami sequel announcement, for God's sake.
That's what I'm saying. It was peak Game Awards, honestly. I feel like
there was nothing good shown here. Don't actually
They did go pretty hard.
Because that alone is huge. We got a new Onimusha, a new Virtua Fighter. To keep in mind, Virtua Fighter hasn't had a new real game since 2007. We got a new game from the Shadow of the Colossus team. Like, these are huge games. I cannot wait to see. Like, these are OG from back in like the golden era of really creative works. So I'm super excited to see a new iteration into these franchises. Like, I think that's really exciting. And then for new franchises, they announced Project Century, which looks really good.
See, I'm not,
Naughty Dog's got a new
I
IP.
feel you, Charlie.
Hey, I'm breaking the timeline here. I just
he's a gamer like
I
you.
have to replace this section
like
here
as
I was listing new IPs that they announced last night. So that's why my hair is wet instead of greasy now. Just want to peel back the curtain on that a little bit on why it changed so drastically.
I was like, wait a second.
But some of the other IPs that they announced that look great.
That threw me off for a second. I'm not gonna lie.
Dispatch.
That's how fire it was, though.
Shadow Labyrinth.
He had to come back. He was like, yo, I forgot about this shit.
I think is super cool.
I had to come add some stuff real quick.
I was really impressed with the trailers and really surprised that people thought there was nothing good
I know,
that they
bro,
revealed.
for real.
It actually baffles my fucking noodle up here that anyone would think that.
Crazy.
I really think it's people just wanting everything to be bad. So they'll put on their biggest frown and just pretend that it was all negative and it's all lame, throwaway shovelware. The gaming industry is so cooked. I also just forgot, they revealed a new Turok.
Oh, wait, I missed that.
Since 2008. I used to make montages on the 2008 Turok game when I was still in fucking middle school.
Turok on the N64 was OG as goated.
For almost 2 decades. The last time I touched a new Turok game, I hadn't even held a girl's hand.
Man, I feel you, dog.
In 2024...
That's wild.
How is that not like it just I don't understand why everyone is so desperate for everything to be the worst it can possibly be, even when there is like real positive shit that they showed from the announcements. That's exciting. And gaming, I think AAA gaming is kind of cooked. Like, at least Western devs, it's been fucking floundering left and right. I've talked about this a lot. But where the AAA space is eating ass, the rest of the world
exactly.
is blessing us with great games.
And this is
like,
what
we
happens.
Haven't had this many international releases to this quality.
China
ever.
in there,
And
fucking Ukraine, fucking
like,
all
the
of these
gaming industry
motherfuckers
as a
dropping
whole, I think,
fire
is in a good
ass
space.
games
And I think it's a good thing that some of these legacy AAA studios
That's
are
good to see
eating
too. That's so
much
cool
shit.
to see that.
Like Ubisoft. I spit on Ubisoft every chance I get. I've been hogging movies at them for many, many months now. But they deserve it.
Ubisoft,
they are digging their own grave. They just released a fucking NFT game in 2024. Man. Like, come on. So while Ubisoft might be having this cartoonish fall where they're just
gonna have to sell
slipping on ice as
very
their
soon.
stock price continues
so?
to plummet,
Yeah.
where they
Going that bad?
Yeah.
there
know
will be
that
other
bad.
games
Holy
that will
shit.
fill that void. And they'll probably get bought by Tencent. I really think Ubisoft will end up getting bought by Tencent. I don't think that's going to save any of the properties that they have, but that's my little game theory, my hypothesis there. What we'll have is more room for great games like a Black Myth Wukong, or great indie games
like
a Nine
Balatro.
Souls. Still very upset Nine Souls didn't get a single nomination, by the way. Anyway, though, I'll stop going on that tangent. Let's talk about something I just briefly mentioned that I talked about quite a bit during the stream. The new Elden Ring, Night Rain. When they first showed it...
So this is a new whole game, not DLC? Is it a whole new actual game?
Yeah, it's like a...
It's clearly not a battle royale.
Rogue like Elden Ring, but I think it got some co-op in it.
I really... Oh my god, the Nameless King, I'm gonna come. Jiminy Christmas.
So if you're trying to get busy, bro, if you think you that fire...
We don't have to do
American
it. We should do it, man. I really want to do a game like that, like, you know, this year, and with if we can get like 2 or 3 more people, whatever, that'd be dope. It'd be fun to
it's not
actually
DLC. They said it's a standalone.
With, you know, some homies.
So it's a new Elden Ring game. All that excitement soon turned to excrement. The more I learned about it, the more I started to get more and more worried and kind of shitting on the concept. So Night Rain is a roguelike co-op survival boss rush type experience with battle royale elements, like that bird you saw.
Yeah, it doesn't sound great. It doesn't sound
The people
that
that
great.
played.
It sounds like it's just a jumble of
I have faith in FromSoft, but I am really
exactly.
concerned
They
that this might be
don't
their
usually
first blemish,
miss.
and
So
this is not with Sony buying
let's just
Kanakawa
see
yet.
what they got
So
cooking.
this is a FromSoft decision.
Like...
And I'm gonna
usually
be
cook.
honest, fans. I'll play some clips from the stream
Hell
where you
yeah.
can see the
gonna
realization wash over me that this
Yeah,
might not actually be good. but I think this really might not be very good. I don't like the concept. I do not think it makes a whole lot of sense for a game, but I am willing to be proven wrong, hoping I'll be proven wrong. Please don't let me down, FromSoft.
I know. I feel you.
The vibes get even stranger when you see a battle royale style wall of deadly rain encircling the map and characters dashing around on foot like wait, what?
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they made it. Maybe they made it, bro.
With a little dash of
their track record.
Choose a final boss face at the end of a 30-ish minute run.
So
that's assuming you survive 2 days of the circle.
I'm gonna put faith in it.
Where someone in alt
that something about it
culminating
works.
in its own tough boss battle. I don't really love that. Yeah, I know Miyazaki's not on it. That's what chat was saying. But even still, that just seems like such a blatant cash grab.
They're trying to capitalize.
That's what I'm hoping that they're not doing.
That direction,
that's what I'm
not
hoping.
Super stoked on.
Yeah.
When I first started my first session by dropping onto the map
I
from
could
Spectral
rant
Bird,
all
the
day
entrance
about
was so
that
Fortnite
shit.
coded.
Because single player games
was joining
have
the
this
live
problem.
service party with a battle pass seasonal $20 epic skins. So that's what the bird was that they showed. That's
you gotta try and capitalize off of some of the popularity.
It's not a live service game. It's a single player game. So they want the live service money, but
out of the box on the day of purchase,
it's not a live service game. So
it's not what we'd consider a live service game.
Man.
Oh, okay.
We're still in the process of thinking about possibilities.
Oh god.
No PvP elements at all. No invasions. No esoteric multiplayer covenants. We wanted to have a sense of accomplishment. You don't put those words together.
Yeah, please don't.
You never put those words together.
Please don't.
Ever.
Because then you tricking us. You're tricking us.
Accomplishment like that.
Man, you're tricking us.
I'm a little worried. This might be FromSoft's first miss. And this isn't even Sony's fault. This is before they're getting bought out by Sony. Shit. Well, okay, I'm counting my chickens before they hatch. But man, how do you even make that good? That is like
I feel them though, man. It does not sound. It don't sound great. It really don't.
I think you can make roguelike elements work. What I'm not convinced you can make work is a battle royale influenced boss rush. As Miyazaki said,
but we don't even know what that means just yet, though. So that's the thing.
It said no PvP elements too. So how are you having a battle royale
in that initial concept phase of the game? But after that, he gave full reign.
That's what I'm saying. We don't even
Isn't looking good.
So that's what I'm saying. We don't know what a circle looks like with no PvP.
That's true.
But I guess we'll see, man. I'll give FromSoft the benefit of the doubt. They haven't let me down yet, but
I know, Charlie.
This feels like something.
Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt, man. They've done.
To be honest, but it's not Sony. This is something they just decided to do.
Hell yeah, that's why I said, which leads me to believe they found something that works.
About the big one.
And they're excited to try it out.
Yeah.
I've said for a while my game of the year was Black Myth Wukong. My favorite games of the year.
This was one you were not sure about too. Game of the year
and Space Marine 2. I absolutely fucking loved those 3 games. Astrobot, I do think is a good game. It wouldn't be my personal game of the year, but that is what took home the gold
medal. I know
that
Sony really needed Astrobot to be big.
I think it's gonna be Astrobot. Like I said, I think it'll probably be Astrobot.
And the game of the year is.
But I'm pulling for Wukong, please.
Going for that.
Astrobot.
Damn it! Fuck.
See, he was pulling for Wukong. I was pulling for Metaphor.
There were a lot of people upset about this Dubski from Astrobot here, especially during stream in the chat. I think a lot of people didn't play Astrobot because a lot of people kind of wrote it off as being like a throwaway platformer, even though it was like a game journalist darling that had like 10s across the board. Trust in game journalists has never been
bro.
For good
People
reason.
was like, yeah, we don't do that no more.
Really
we trust each other. And, like,
exactly,
really
correct. We listen to each other, and other people are like, no, they're right.
What a game journalist review has to say about something. So people didn't put a lot of stock into something like Astrobot being an actually good game. It is. Astrobot is a great game. It was a wonderful game, super fun.
I know that's the thing. It's like
a lot of replayability.
Man,
once I actually saw
personally
what like Astrobot was,
something a little more
I was surprised. I thought it was gonna be some BS little platform.
That's what I'm saying. People wrote it off. People wrote it off.
Black Myth Wukong.
They put a lot of work into that.
Unique path.
And I heard the story around a little bit why.
Like the gameplay
Sony
is something we haven't seen before.
Wants Astrobot to be like their mascot, like their leading guy.
I've played. You know? Because it comes from a Chinese developer that really tried to carve its own road with this game. And I think they succeeded. Like, it has so much style and so much
I'm had to try it.
Like, it took me 35 hours or something just to beat the game the first time around. And that was without getting the true ending. So the game has a lot of meat on its bones. It never really overstays its welcome somehow. Like, it still constantly feels fresh. It's challenging, but not in a way that ever really felt unfun. I've glazed Black Myth Wukong plenty. I'm sure all of you have heard me gushing grannies over it. I just really thought Black Myth Wukong was Game of the Year for me. Wukong did win Player's Voice, which was the 100% user-voted game award. So Black Myth Wukong got the Player's Game of the Year award, the People's Champion. But I just really did think that it was deserving of a Game of the Year win. Did you play Black Myth
Wukong? No, I ain't got a hold of that yet.
I just still felt Black Myth Wukong was stronger. Anyway, though, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the Game Awards last night. Really, that's about it. So, yeah.
Alright, so I was on Twitter earlier and I came across a video and it was incredible.
Oh yeah, this is about the fucking weird hair that Derrick Henry did.
Run amok.
Did you see
somebody was playing a practical joke on myself?
No, I didn't.
Is it not a good hairstyle? Because I need your opinion on it. As a gentleman with hair like him.
Turns out it's real.
You gotta let us know. You know what's wrong with the hair? What people are, talking about.
Now I know what you're thinking. It's just Derrick Henry at practice. He's straight on the ground.
He doesn't have his hair.
I want you guys to consider what's underneath the helmet, because evidently Derrick Henry cut his dreads.
It looks they're gone.
Who in the hell does he think he is?
Who does he think he is?
Oh damn! He's holding on to them motherfuckers.
Oh, okay.
Is that like a crime?
He might be regrowing.
In NFL history has cut their dreadlocks.
Yeah, but like, doesn't that take a long time?
Better in production after
he got you need dreadlock power though. So
but that's not
he got rid of his power exactly.
This is against the dreadlocks Bible, sir. Have you not learned? Sammy Watkins, Mike Evans, Devin Hester, just to name a few.
Just look around,
and they were
man.
never the same again.
You lack of discipline.
You just back 10,000 yards, eclipsed 100 touchdowns on probably a team that can legitimately get
I guess he got a
to
point
Super Bowl.
after doing what he did and cutting them off.
You decide to go and cut your dreadlocks?
It seems like a weird time.
It don't make sense. Have you turned away from the power of the dreadlocks Bible? How many times have we seen you activate these powers late in games, run people over, stiff arm other human beings into oblivion? We've seen Derrick Henry's dreadlock powers cancel out other players' dreadlock powers. Do you remember what he did to Josh Norman? He sent that man to the death note. This man came on the football, you had his soul evicted his body. Man got thrown away of an abortion. Pain must have been playing mad.
I'm gonna go past
the almighty push. Then
he didn't even. He just went out of bounds.
I know, bro. You try to give me extra yards, bro. You just pushed me for no reason.
Josh Norman got stiff arm, so
sit down, bitch.
Damn, Josh.
Orbit. Man's got treated like
Josh Norman was in his
after the battle against Goku on Namek. He's never worked at NASA one day in his life, but somehow got a free trip to the moon. Put it in reverse, got him looking like he throwing kicks in karate class. If we knew Josh Norman was gonna come on the field and get thrown around like a member of the circus, somebody call up Murray Franklin. We've got another clown for the show. Look at his face. He does not want to be on a football field right now. He'd rather be playing Twister. Right elbow on green, hip on yellow. Maybe
push the
doing
shit out that boy.
Perhaps a bronze medal in high jump. Sliding for home base in October. Man's looking like he's taking an incorrect Stone Cold Stunner from Steve Austin. Or perhaps Stone Cold Derrick Henry. No respect for the leader of the locker room. Interrupted the dead man's leg drop with an elbow. And he dropped one on the dead man the next week.
He gets it to Henry.
Get out of here.
He castrated, executed that man on national television, not based off his own merit, not because of his own strength. It had nothing to do with the stiff arm. It had nothing to do with his talents. That's the power of the
It's a weird time to cut him.
He did a couple years before
he's having a great year.
Against
One of his best ever.
Thursday. Look what he does to Boye. Get back. He got whiplash, car accident.
That goes
weird time to cut him.
Leon Jacobs to a different dimension.
Get out of here.
If you look closely, you can see his soul leave
Get out.
his body. Then he took Miles Jack to try this new form of toothpaste. It's called Derrick Henry gloves. Somebody unplug the controller of the Jacksonville Jaguars. They need to rage quit. Somebody check on Little Duval. He might be on suicide watch. They not living their best lives. Call the EMT.
God damn.
This is abuse. And that's only a couple of players.
It's like the whole team.
How did they not just quit?
Knows he's been
I know, man. Like, bro, it's the whole team. Just give up. Fuck it.
Outran or just downright embarrassed by this man. And you cut your power source? Why would you do this?
I don't know.
Why would you do this during the bye week? Why not wait until the conclusion of the season? You're literally on the cusp of possibly winning another Offensive Player of the Year award, albeit you got usurped by Saquon Barkley, but there's still 4 games remaining. That's a full month of football. Who's to say Saquon doesn't fall off the cliff, or maybe
playing that crap today?
You just so happen to go full Derrick Henry mode, explode for like freaking 700 yards, and all of a sudden you break the all-time rushing record for a single season, and you get past that 2105. It can happen. We've seen Derrick Henry go crazy in December before. True. I'm not saying it's a far-gone conclusion, but it's a possibility. Why would you cut your hair now? It simply doesn't make any sense. You're trying to make a playoff push. You're removing what makes you, you.
Pee in that cup.
A word from our sponsor.
Whoa.
So boom, the holiday season is officially here. There's no better way to celebrate the holidays.
Dog, I do feel kind of.
Your favorite of these
I feel.
a better way to
I don't like
my
this.
Steelers
I don't like
get
this.
a different chance. Adele perform before the conclusion of her residency in Las Vegas, and I would have never been able to do that had it not been for game picks. You don't have to waste time.
But at the end of the day, he might have been trying to.
In time at today.
Scheduled program.
Now I know what some of you are thinking. It's just hair. It's no big deal. It has nothing to do with how he plays on the field. I beg to differ. I've been watching football my whole life. Y'all been tuning into the commentaries for years. You have seen those who happen to wear dreadlocks perform substantially better than those who do not at certain positions, carrying the football or catching the football. Dare I say defensive backs with dreadlocks are amongst the best of the league collectively. Maybe you might have individual seasons where somebody performs.
This is something I never even thought about, bro. Chisel is crazy.
Play amongst
you happy because he's talking about your people, dreadlock
this
people.
Millennium. It's getting ridiculous. Why would he do this? Who gave him the clearance? I demand.
Who gave him the clearance?
Attach the dreadlocks at once. Have you not read your Bible? Don't you know what happened to Samson? Why would you cut your hair? I'm a Steelers fan and I don't make no goddamn sense why the hell he cut his hair. Why? Why?
Why?
Why?
Why?
Why? Why? This the same man who ran for 12,000 yards in high school. The same man who won the Heisman and ran for over 2,000 yards in college and in the NFL eclipsed 10,000 yards and 100 touchdowns and will be a future Hall of Famer. Why would you cut your dreadlock?
I'm gonna kill myself.
Didn't do anything this week either.
But it's your fault.
That was a little emotional. Not so much analyze myself, but I will say this much. I'm gonna go out on the record and say right now, this next month, I will be watching incredibly close at the production.
He didn't play very well.
Because I can tell you
Today.
something right now. Some people would say, well, maybe with the cut hair, he could become a bit more aerodynamic.
No.
He should have just went completely bald.
She's bald. She's bald.
No.
But I don't think he'll eclipse over 400 yards for the remaining 4 of the season. And dare I say, initially coming into the season, I predicted he would not go over 1,000. He proved me wrong. But now with the cut hair, I am going to put down the damn decree now. Henry will never eclipse 1,000 yards in a season because he cut his goddamn dreads. And you could take that to the bank. Maybe not so much to the bank. People put some money behind it. It's not going to work out in my favor. But
But
I'm telling you something right now. This is gonna be the worst decision he ever made in his entire doggone career. You're done, Derek.
I'm rooting for Derek.
I'm always rooting for Derek.
I like that name, Derek.
Oh, I wonder why.
Great name.
Is it?
Esto ya, bebé. Esto ya, bro. Full focus.
Hey, appreciate it. What the fuck? Oh god. Oh Jesus Christ.
Vale, vale, tenemos más.
This game is so much clicking. Oh my god.
No.
Tenemos más.
Oh my lord. How do you know what's happening?
Uh-oh. Damn.
Oh!
Damn.
Did he just...
You can't be that mad over a Fortnite game, bro.
Did he just jump on the table?
Thanks for tuning in again.
Like
now sit
bro,
back
did he
and
have on
enjoy
a
another
bulletproof
episode
vest?
of 8 Minutes of Gamer Rage. And remember, don't break your stuff.
And remember, don't break your stuff.
Uh-oh. Hey, that's you.
No, but I'll be watching Buddy. I seen Buddy before.
Yeah, you were gonna beat
I'll be watching. Like I seen him on YouTube.
I get stun him.
There's so much shit talk in the fighting game world.
Yeah, man, it's great.
Hey, put a shirt on, homie.
Helicopter. Oh. Uh-oh. It's happening. It's happening.
Please don't kill me, 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 please don't kill me.
Pow! Damn, dude. Come on. Oh! Yeah, cut that off. That man just Macho Man, Randy Savage, his whole setup, bro.
No.
No.
Fordham said he watched Buddy too.
What'd he say?
Oh, who, that guy? The guy, I missed what he said.
No, what 4Dub say?
I said he watched the guy, the same fighting guy. The fighting guy
okay.
fighting videos.
I thought 4Dub said something smart. I was about to come find him.
Yeah, the new Beard Meets Food video looks really good for it. I'm hoping to watch that with Jimmy at some point. This food challenge looks crazy.
Why do grenades look like this? It's like
Oh shit! Oh man, bro. I know, man. That shit is frustrating.
Ich werde zum ganz schlimmen Mensch wegen dem Tag.
I wish you could tell people like, hey, bro, chill. I'm talking to chat.
Let it out. Let it out.
Yeah, but.
Oh shit, he says he knows him too. Fordham says he knows him. He's an anchor gaming with him.
It sounds about right.
Non, j'étais là.
Sounds about right.
4Dubs is in the Marvel universe.
Hey, was that football?
I don't know.
Were they playing monster like football? What the fuck is on this guy's screen?
Get him, buddy.
Let it out. He's gonna get fucked up. What? Doom! That guy's an anime character. He is a human anime character.
For sure.
I have no ammo. What do I do?
Hold on, I gotta watch that again.
Go back, please. Please go back.
Look at
Literally have no ammo. What do I do?
The hop step. The ginger hop step.
Literally have no ammo.
That's
What do I do?
hilarious.
What do I do?
Raging.
That's about right.
It's like I want to.
I want it, but I don't want to break it. I don't want to break it though.
Jinxie, Jesus, Jinxie. Oh, classic game right here.
Oh, that music, bro. That music is classic.
Holy.
Dude.
Oh, that camera's gonna fuck you every time. It's Mario 64, bro.
The camera, bro. The camera's not impossible. It's not. The star's not. Oh, don't break those. Are hard to come by, man.
No, I'm sorry. I'm one Titan ramp.
Si soffre, io mi sono rotto, ragazzi, è diverso proprio, vorrei spaccare tutto, cioè.
Hell
Ragazzi,
yeah.
c'ho 80 game in Emerald.
Yeah, you right. Oh shit. League of Legends, I believe.
Oh my god, picking up.
Damn. Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
What the fuck was that? You broke. Wait, this golf club broke? What did you hit?
I know.
Oh.
Clapped.
Oh my.
I don't care.
Yep. Once you start
Yes,
saying
you
it, it gets
care.
worse.
I
Yep.
guess you do care.
This is your buddy. Your homie. It's building.
I see a building.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Telling you, bro.
I just have to stop playing.
He got some issues, man.
You're defeated.
How are you flying it?
Again.
How are you?
Persistence is key.
That was a super.
Oh, okay. How are you flying like Superman?
Still lost. Yeah, be like, bro, I know.
Yeah.
I know. And he in competitive. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was in competitive?
Yeah, bro.
Was that like ranked or something?
Yeah.
He was bad.
Fuck off, stop!
Dude.
Hey, don't get in my face
It
like
get
that.
rough. It get rough.
Охуеть, блядь.
Peter Griffin.
Oh, yeah.
Stream snipers. I'm actually done. I'm actually done.
I'm actually done. I love how fast it is. Oh, shit.
Okay, stop breaking stuff and just be done.
Stupid ass stream snipers, bro. You stupid.
Stop sniping me, bro.
He's probably
Poor
got
Dubs
one
do that to me every stream, bro. I get stream sniped.
Probably got one viewer. Guy had a minigun. What are you gonna do, bro? You gotta get. You can't just keep running in circles.
Oh.
That guy took a lot of shots.
Oh. Clapped him though. I mean, bro, what do you
expect,
I
homie?
know.
Then you never played it or anything. You could have just not shot and you would have been fine. Oh,
Nope.
That's not good. That's not good. Yeah, that's not
He
good.
broke his ankles and everything, bro.
Nope, that's not good.
All that fucking building and shit, bro.
Oh my god, that guy.
Gulag. Pop. Oh, he tagging Buddy ass. Buddy ain't trying to hear it though.
Exactly. Buddy's trying to get out.
Oh, Buddy said I'm behind you.
Ooh, that was smooth.
Yeah, it was. Cause I don't know.
Damn! Bro, that's to be getting his ass kicked.
If you want to be featured, go to 47rage.com and simply fill out the form.
I love all my gamers out there, man, but sometimes y'all, take a time. We gotta take a quick a word from our sponsors, bro. It's Christmas time.
Oh God, who did you focus into now?
It's nobody that you need to worry about, bro. It's the Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints.
Oh my God.
We want to thank you guys for joining us today.
I don't know how you got that response.
We just want you to know that Jesus saves. But yeah, it's Christmas time. We're celebrating the holidays and we're watching videos and we're celebrating the life of our Savior.
Oh my God. I'm going to start playing some music.
I'll check y'all. We'll be right back, guys. We'll be right back. Don't do me like that. Oh, Lord. All right. I did, man. I was in there trying to gush to my brother about the shit, man. They put their foot in this shit. DR, what's up, man? Oh, God. Okay. Scary videos. Turn the lights down. It's time to get spooked. Hopefully our homies will come and save us if we need it.
We haven't had any repeat visitors on in a while. You notice that? Like, we haven't like revisited anyone from previous videos in a while. It's been a lot of like.
It's you know why? You know why?
Well, I'm hoping a lot of them got out. You know, I'm hoping they got out the house and they weren't followed. You know what I mean? I'm hoping they got out.
You know where
but
my
that one couple in India, remember they moved and it followed them, didn't it? I remember correctly.
Bro.
Maybe it got them finally.
Like I'm, you know where my theory lies. You know where you know where my head is at every time it happens.
What? That it gets them?
Yeah. Like what
else is
what do you want from them, bro? They got. The ghost got them.
I don't want them to get got, man. I want them to not get got.
Hey, man.
I would like them to not get got.
I know, but people get took by ghosts all the time, bro.
But you're probably right. I would assume. I don't know.
They'd be like, "Where'd Buddy go? We don't know."
We don't know. That's the problem.
And right, bro. And we never find out. So
never find out. All right, no clues, no nothing. All right, well, got you. All right, well, here we go.
In the following video, a young boy falls asleep on the couch after watching TV by himself.
Of course.
The boy's father, known as Oscar Nunez, had no idea that his son was out in the living room during this time. But Oscar isn't surprised by this, given that his son occasionally sneaks out of his room to watch TV while everyone else is asleep. But tonight, on December 1st of 2019, his son quickly realizes that maybe it's best if he didn't stay up past his bedtime. Now, before showing this clip, it's worth mentioning that recently, strange things have been happening to this family. On one occasion, the family had come home late at night and saw this, an infestation of flies, most of which were surrounding the house. But the strangest part about this is that not a single fly was inside the trash bin that was right next to their home. Understandably, Oscar's family was thoroughly unsettled. Going back to this video, the family believes that it may have some connection to the fly incident. The son is dead asleep when this is captured.
Here we go.
Somebody. I kind of do. Maybe. Could be a figure.
I mean, no, it disappeared.
Disappeared, yeah.
Upon checking the cameras, Oscar saw this, a figure standing in the hallway.
I guess
Oscar
it was
awake
something
during this time.
Yeah, I
It's
zoomed
3
in,
in the
you could
morning,
kinda see it
and
a little
something
better.
appears in the dark. They,
Oscar
or it,
said, "I know
just
what I
stands
saw."
there without moving an inch.
Yeah.
But it doesn't go unnoticed by Oscar's son, who before this was moving erratically on the couch. But creepiest of all is that the figure somehow
just, like,
vanishes into
vanishes,
nothingness.
yeah.
The hallway is now empty compared to before.
Yeah.
Oscar was surely creeped out by this footage, and like his family, he believes that this incident had something to do with the fly incident that occurred recently.
Damn.
Paranormal or not, these occurrences are pretty creepy. But until further updates are given, we'll have to speculate for now as to what exactly is going on with Oscar's home.
Hopefully they don't get took, correct?
Yeah, man. That's creepy. Come on, bro. You ain't gotta
On
be
February
like
7th of 2023, footage from a security camera was shared by Nicole White, who to this day has no idea what was captured. Nicole explains that the video was recorded when her brother and sister were setting up a surveillance camera inside her house. It was a gift for Nicole and her family, including her own brother, who was living with her at this time. But this may be the reason why the following happened. Nicole believes that her brother's collection of archaeological artifacts, like fossils and arrowheads, were all either cursed or haunted. Because she lived under the same roof as him, she no doubt believes that what was captured had some connection to those artifacts. Now in the video, Nicole's sister is using their brother as a point of reference for the camera when this is captured.
Hey, yo. What the fuck was that?
It's no wonder why Nicole was terrified upon seeing this. Looking closely, a creepy, goat-like apparition appears over her brother's shoulder before vanishing out of sight. Now, whether sharing the resemblance of a goat or not, there's no denying that a distinct outline of some figure is seen. But according to Nicole, if you look closely, you can make out a pair of horns and nails. This might be the reason why she compares it to the Goat Man, an urban legend about a creature who's both human and goat. While she isn't saying that it's the Goat Man itself, she is claiming that it's supernatural and believes that her brother's collection of artifacts is the reason for its presence. But of course, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions. Was a ghost caught on camera or not?
Came in like a cloud of smoke.
It's late at night when a single mother known as Brandy Nettleton records her son's bedroom. She was hearing noises coming from inside. However, her son wasn't home at the time of this recording.
Okay, my son is gone. He's not home. He's at a party. Yeah, I know. I don't care. I just got woken up. My daughter's home, but my son's not home. My son is the only one that lives upstairs. The only one upstairs. All night since he's been gone, I keep hearing like the door close. Like it'll just shut, but...
Now the audio cuts off during this time. This is something that often happens throughout the video, which although strange, does add to the creepiness of the footage, but things would only get creepier from here on out. Brandy's already freaked out by the noises she apparently heard, but little does she know that she would end up capturing the following on video. Moments after the audio cuts, this happens.
Sorry. So anyway, my son's not home, but I keep hearing the door shut. But there's nobody up there. There's nobody up there. I'm gonna see if I could try to... And let me take you guys, I'll take you guys up there and show you there's nobody up there. But let's see if we can catch it.
Go catch it. You got it.
What was that? Hey, dog.
Bro, my eyes are watering. This is scaring me. Hold on. Oh my god, as soon as I stopped it, I heard it.
I didn't hear shit. Oh.
I knew you guys heard that. I hope I caught that.
No, it's just clicking. Oh, that's a door closed.
Did you hear it? Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm scared. Okay, I'm gonna turn. Look, nobody's up here. Oh my god. Look at his door's closed. Oh my god.
Cool.
Oh.
Oof.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
She said no.
Boo boo. Oh my god. There's water in my eyes. Oh my god. Why does it sound like... And I recorded it. It sounds like somebody's in your brother's room. And I went up there.
There's a door. Oh, that door open.
Tell me why his door opened.
It was like, come in.
Come on in.
I swear. I ran down here by myself. I'm recording it. Come up there with me to show them nobody's here. Oh my god. That made my eyes...
She said,
Showed it on
Sam, what you mean?
I'm not home.
I'm good.
I'm not going to stop the recording just so I can show you guys.
That's scary.
Yeah, it is.
Hola.
I ran down here so fast.
whole lot to
Not
you.
that fast. Not that fast, but I mean.
Oh my god, that scared me. And it's
like I would have been like way quicker. I'm gonna be real.
Yes.
Bro, that ghost wanted her to come in there.
Look at
He did. Well, kick it. Maybe he had a blunt.
Yeah, I'm saying. Come on, we could do
okay,
something
we're gonna
freaky
go up
shit.
there. I'm
Come
gonna show
on.
you guys. Nobody is in his room.
Oh, it is moving. You see
He's
that?
not
It's
here.
moving.
Turn your flashlight on. Oh my
Give it a Hadouken.
Hurry up. Come up here so you can point it to show nobody's in the room.
Give it a. There you go.
Look.
Oh, what? Wait.
Look. Nobody's in here.
I mean, I don't know. There could be somebody in there behind something.
You guys literally.
I'm
You
just
seen that in
saying.
real time with me. Oh my god.
Could be somebody hiding behind some shit.
Oh my god, I'm freaking out.
Did it just close again?
Oh no.
Is she in the
told you
room
guys.
still?
And there's been that mimic, and my daughter has heard it when I'm not
That
here. It
mimic?
says my name, or it says her name in my voice when I'm not here, and it says my name in her voice when I'm not here, and or when she's not here. And now that's happening. Look at my dog.
Wait, I didn't even see it.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
Wait, what? Oh, wait, did it close again?
No, it opened up. Hey, like, no, come up in here.
Come on in, homie. Come on in. Come on in.
Come on in here.
Under the side of the house.
It's friendly.
In a panic frenzy, Brandy and her daughter run down the
Oh,
stairs to
cracked
get
a
away from what
bottle
just
of
happened.
wine.
Now, there are two things worth pointing out about this clip. The first
like we
being
finna
that
have
Brandy
fun
shuts
tonight.
the door after checking inside. We
Yeah.
can hear the door clicking and latching into place after she closes it, but somehow it opens up as we just saw. To Brandy,
Somebody
this was
might
a
be
key
in that bitch.
indication that it wasn't a
That's what I'm
draft
saying.
or an uneven door.
She didn't look around it. We didn't see anything in that room.
It's the
She turned the
second
lights
detail that
on.
makes this whole encounter even more creepy.
Yeah, I couldn't see the dog. Uh-oh.
Brandy's dog was acting strange. Pixie, the dog's name, would stare at the ceiling and start acting up out of nowhere.
What the hell?
Keep in mind, though, that the room you're seeing is below the floor on which the son's bedroom is at.
Fan is off, and he's hearing something.
Wow.
And now he's going crazy.
Yo, what you doing, bro?
Pixie's strange behavior is nothing new. It's been happening ever since Brandy's sister moved out of the house. Her sister, according to Brandy, is the reason for these unusual happenings. She believes that her sister had brought something into the house after using a Ouija board before she left. But of course, I'll let you be the judge on that.
Well, I mean, if she
There's been a
did.
few updates on Brandy's page since making this video.
Okay, so
which
what
you
we
can
got?
check out in case you're interested.
Well, you're not gonna give them to
As it
us?
seems,
Nah.
this video remains a mystery.
We might have to go look. What's her name? What's her page at? You got her page somewhere?
Austin 316.
It's nighttime somewhere in Argentina when a
Tyler!
family gets together for dinner. As all members
Stunning
finish up their
ghosts
meal,
all
one
over the
relative begins to
country.
record.
Yeah.
As he pans the camera around the room, he captures this.
That'd be kind of cool. Uh-oh. I don't want to sneeze.
Hey, yo.
Hey, there's a guy.
There
Hey,
appears
did
to
you
be someone
invite
by
that?
the poolside just watching the family from a distance. However, they don't appear to be moving.
Nah.
While it might be that a guest was enjoying their evening by the pool,
Right.
given that this dinner was
mean,
taking place at a hotel, something
possible.
about them seems strange.
But
Zooming in, it looks
Kind of
like
like
they're
an
completely
Indian,
still.
like
and
a
seems like their
Native
mouth is
American
open.
with a headband, bro.
The person
Kinda
recording
like
this
some,
immediately stopped filming.
Really
upon
broad
noticing this
shoulders.
Unusual behavior. Its pale complexion was already enough
Nah,
to
Should have
bro.
said.
Nah.
To this day, the relative who took this has no idea who or
That's
what
all we
was
get.
outside
You
the
didn't even.
hotel
He didn't.
room that they were
Homie
eating
didn't.
at.
Homie didn't.
You should throw a
you
rock
didn't
over there.
You didn't say to your family though, like if this is like by your gazebo and
Now, this
shit, you
next
just say, "Hey, y'all, there's a
mother,
dude outside."
Stephanie Johnson,
ping him.
who was doing a live stream.
I would
with
have
her
pinged the
kids
fuck out of
when
him. I was
something
pinging
happened
him
that
from
forced her
here.
to end the live feed at once.
Wait,
The
oh,
incident
shit.
had completely taken Stephanie by surprise, but not as much as her daughter,
Uh-oh.
who was terribly shaken up by what happened.
Uh-oh.
The two had been doing a live stream inside their house when no one else was home. It was just Stephanie and her child alone at home, letting viewers know that they'll be taking a 5-minute break from the live stream when this is captured.
5 minutes. 5 minutes. We're gonna be back in 5 minutes. I'm not scared. What are you scared of? I'm scared. All right, before you go, say Happy New Year. I'm scared. What are you scared of? I'm scared. Of what? I'm scared. I'm scared too. Of my own life.
They're trying to let you know, like, no, there's something over
Did
there.
you hear that? She said she's afraid of the ghost.
Shit.
Might be a ghost.
Kids are not dumb as we
Where
think
is
they
it?
are.
Where's the ghost? Show
They
her
just don't know how to communicate.
Point to it. You're fine. Where is it? Point. Is it over there? Is it over there? Is it over there? Where is it? Where's the ghost? Where? Is it Grandpa? It's not? What's the matter? Okay, come here. Do you see what I deal with?
What's wrong, baby?
Stephanie immediately ends the live stream to console her daughter, making sure she's okay, because, as it seems, something had terribly spooked her. As soon as Charlie, her daughter, said that a ghost was there, Stephanie assumed it was her grandfather's spirit. Perhaps she said this to lighten up the situation.
To try and make it. She
Strangely,
said, nah.
Charlie quickly said no and proceeded to have
No.
If it wasn't her supposed grandpa's ghost, then what was it? While some believe that something was present, others write that the video had simply spooked them. It's all in Charlie's reaction. There had to be something quite upsetting to elicit such a sudden response, but it's never made certain. Neither Stephanie nor others in her family who've seen this clip could figure out what it was that had made Charlie so frightened.
Does it happen like
But let me know your
That's the
thoughts on this
question,
one.
too. Like,
Just what had spooked Charlie?
It looked like someone was floating back there for a second, but
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
At around 11 p.m., two friends inside a pickup truck
I
began
thought I
to
saw
happily
something.
sing after waiting in traffic for hours on end. According
He had
to
guns
Ezzy,
up, just
the
like you,
person
bro.
who
You
sent
see
me
that?
this, they were stuck in
Guns
traffic
up,
due to an
baby.
accident that occurred earlier. Ezzy began to
See,
At around 11 p.m.,
just
two
read.
friends inside a pickup truck
Guns
began to happily
up,
sing
my
after
boy.
waiting in traffic for hours on end.
You know
According to
what's
Ezzy,
up.
the person who sent me this, they were stuck in traffic due to an accident that occurred earlier. On the same highway that the men are on, a motorcyclist crashed into a truck, resulting in a traffic jam. Unfortunately, the motorcyclist lost his life upon impact, but fast forward to only a few hours later, and this is captured. Watch closely.
I'm already not liking this.
He's already gonna be on the road like that. Is that the face in the back or what? You see that?
Yeah, I seen something. Yeah, I definitely seen a face in the glass.
Yeah. There, it's still there. It was there.
As both men sing along, something appears behind them. It appears outside the truck, floating in midair while following the vehicle. As Ezzy writes, a pale face with no body is observed, and strangely, neither man noticed it. Well, that is, until much later when they saw this video. Ezzy writes that the men believe this face was the spirit of the motorcyclist who passed away on the same road. And if it wasn't the motorcyclist, then it had to be one of the many victims who lost their lives on this highway. Many accidents have happened here.
Yeah, I got a good one today, bro.
What do you
Good,
think?
homie.
Could this supposed
got a
face
banger
be a case of
today.
pareidolia? Or is it likely that something supernatural was caught on camera?
Crazy. Damn. Hey, yo, hey.
At a local bakery, a couple of kids are waiting patiently to get some candy from the shop's baker.
Look at the little one.
It's Halloween, and the bakery is giving out treats to those who stop by. Although everyone in this video is getting some candy, one kid in particular isn't. He stands a few feet away from the group while seemingly observing them. It could be that he's shy and therefore hesitant to step forward. Or,
maybe he is
as many
waiting.
comments have noted, it may be that he's seeing something. Now you might miss it, but at the start of the video, the small boy says something out loud, like, "Look it," as if noticing something in front of him. He even points at whatever it is that he's seeing. As soon as he does this, this happens. Watch closely.
Shit.
What the fuck?
Damn.
The hell?
The boy suddenly stops in his tracks as if something was blocking his path. He stands in place while staring at something unseen, but then his head quickly tilts up in the same way that someone would after being hit or pushed to the ground. In comment after comment, the same thing is being said. Something had pushed
like
the boy. From the sudden pause in his walk, to earlier when he said look it while pointing at something, it's understandable as to why many think this. So, did something actually push the boy?
Well, something. I mean, something pushed him.
That caused him to fall. It's hard to say.
Don't just fucking...
The more you watch this clip, the harder it gets to answer this question.
Damn, bro, why you do the kid like that, bro?
Dude, that's
This next video was submitted to me by a viewer who saw a video that left him extremely unsettled. They had seen the clip on Instagram and write that the footage originates from a city in Yemen where a store owner caught something creepy on camera. He was working late at night when a woman walked in. However,
bro, I'm about
something
to
was
leave,
very
bro. I'm about to leave, bro.
The person who sent me this
I'm about to leave.
doesn't look right. Her voice changes at one point, which is what spooked the guy, and her face doesn't look right either.
What is happening? Nothing looks
with a
right.
description like this,
Nothing looks
I had to
right
watch
at
the clip in full
all.
screen to see if they appear as so. Needless to say, something
there's something about that immediately.
Man, scared the shit out of me.
Immediately. Like, wait a minute.
Oh shit.
Whoa.
كيف حالك؟ حوامك من مات عليك؟ ها؟ من مات عليك؟ ولا واحد حوامك ما عاد اشتغل ما عاد منزل يا والله انا طيب طيب
Scared the shit out of
Buddy.
I'm closing the door.
Her pale skin is similar to that of someone who is sick or passed away.
We're closed for the rest of the night.
More that her appearance is uncanny. Now, the comments on the original video believe that this was a clear case of an evil entity pretending to be a person. Even the caption on this video claims that they're non-human, given that a pair of hooves can be seen where their feet should be.
Man, she was asking about the music, which must have been religious, judging by what she was talking
voice
about.
change and the weird questions, like repeatedly asking who passed away, further makes the so-called person creepy.
Oh, I didn't know that was a sudden voice change.
You be the judge. Just who or what
scary
tried to
as
visit
fuck.
the store owner during the late hours of the night.
Look at the way he reacted was scary enough because he was like, "Yo, wait, who are whoa?"
Me to check out and include. You can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com.
We went there. He was spooked.
On May 20th of 2024, a woman named Shireen Ann notices something in her apartment that leaves her extremely unsettled. After this incident, she made a video detailing the events that led up to that night. It all started a few days back when Shireen was home alone with her children. Looking back at this moment,
it looked like he was calling it a scary movie. Excuse me?
Wait, what? That must not have been English.
No.
To Shireen, this occurrence wasn't something to be concerned about, as she thought it was her upstairs neighbor doing some interior renovations. But the following night, it happens again.
Why she look so scared? She just like, oh.
It was at this moment that Shireen began to think that it wasn't her upstairs neighbor, but instead someone or something else.
But like
She
where?
would continue to be on edge
Just
until the
upstairs?
next night when it
Yeah,
didn't
in the
happen.
wall, like exactly.
No
So, like,
noises were heard whatsoever on that night. But as she takes a random photo for her Snapchat to let her followers know that she was going to bed,
not
she
her actual.
captures this.
Wait, that's
Jigsaw.
Shireen had
That's
no
Jigsaw.
idea that in the photo she took, something appears. It was only after someone on Snapchat saw the photo that she was told. Looking closely, it looks as if someone or something is staring at her. She believes that they
Oh, yeah, that's
or
definitely
it had been the
Jigsaw.
one responsible for the noises she heard before. Now the figure
She's
isn't
gonna
clear
get
at all,
sawed.
but you can make out an outline of a body,
Put into
which
a
is pretty
trap
creepy
or a
in
game, I
itself.
should say.
Not much else has been said about this occurrence, but one can assume that Shireen was terrified upon
Damn,
seeing
Shireen,
it.
it's been nice
It's
knowing
photos like this of eerie figures that are pretty creepy.
Maybe that
A
one
similar photo
may
was
be.
recently posted on Facebook. However, the figure in this one is a bit more clear. The context for this is that a theater student had taken a photo of the audience in the upper balcony and captured
one feels
this.
like it could be faked.
However, a morbid-looking person is caught in it. Like this image,
also could
Shireen's
not
pic
be.
remains a total mystery. She doesn't know who or what was inside her apartment, and she doesn't know if it's still there. With no new updates since then, it seems that what was captured will continue to remain
All
unknown.
right. Told you. I'm telling you, bro. You
Thanks
gotta
for
be
watching,
careful, man.
and I hope you enjoyed. Also, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe and make sure to hit the bell icon so you
I got the bell hit. I gotta pause it though, because Nick Crowley's next, and we don't need that to just, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. All right. I mean, we got all our videos out the way, so.
Yeah, the other ones I have the Atuzi and the Easter eggs, but you said you watched those, so I don't know. I think we got everything that we had talked about. Though.
Yeah. So we good to go from here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Call it a little after dark, actually.
Thanks for joining us on the primary show.
On the primary.
The primary Tiny Dancer.
Yeah,
and we're
if you
gonna
wanna
shift gears, as they say.
Yeah. This is where stuff gets a little weird sometimes, especially when Nick Crowley comes out. So anyone who sticks around from here on, but just
just know it's gonna be a little rough. The video selection may not be.
Most of the time, it's not super bad, but when Nick comes out, we gotta check on what Nick comes out with.
Look, man, I know a lot of us have, you know, a fascination with the morbid. So.
Well, and this one exactly, a lot of us do, and this is like YouTube's darkest. So it's like stuff that's been on YouTube too. So it's always super interesting because we've grown up in the YouTube era. We've grown up when YouTube was nothing, you know, before YouTube, obviously. And throughout the whole thing. So it's a big thing for us. You and I talk about how much of it we watch.
Man, YouTube is a part of my daily watching, viewing experience. So yeah.
The fact that he keeps coming out with these, like, YouTube number 7 for YouTube's darkest, and it's like,
oh yeah,
he's finding some shit.
Bro, think about how many people got YouTube channels that, you know, have maybe 20 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they over there just doing some crazy shit, you know?
Facts.
There's a lot of people out here on the planet, man, for real. So yeah, let's get into some morbid videos. Viewer discretion advised. I advise you to stay tuned.
advise you to stay tuned because Nick Crowley does some amazing work. Dude, look at that. Look at the warning. Flat here.
Man, see, that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Nick, no, like that shit upsetting.
It's December 4th, 2003.
Oh, there's a kid right there.
Here we go.
Oh boy, I already got goosebumps.
I'm gonna go try to get them to stop doing that.
Here we go.
A police officer walking in a local park in Arlington, Virginia, is approached by a concerned family, claiming that someone in a nearby neighborhood had been shooting off a flare gun. The officer could hear it too, and following the sound, he eventually found himself at the home of 56-year-old James Yu. The man lived alone in his half of this duplex. He was described by neighbors as a recluse, known to exhibit unusual behavior. Across his social media, he made posts claiming that he was the victim of fraud at the hands of all sorts of government agencies, as he had a deep distrust of the US government as well as law enforcement, and he believed that numerous people were attempting to kill him, like his ex-wife, the FBI, and even his neighbors. His posts seemed entirely nonsensical, and so did many of his actions.
This is not a guy. Is it a good state or any state of
garbage
mind?
bags and aluminum foil, and he even wrapped his trees in toilet paper. And though these actions are entirely harmless, on this day, things
I
were
thought that might have been
far
fire,
more
but it could have been
troubling.
like Christmas lights or something. Oh.
When police arrived at his home, you would be seen firing his flare gun out of his window and into the air, over and over again. And despite repeated attempts to get him to stop,
Arlington County Police! Stop shooting the flares! Mr. Yu!
he didn't let up, shooting 41 flares in the span of close to 25 minutes.
Flares?
And he did it all with no explanation. In fact, he didn't even say a single word. Understandably, police were eager to get you out of his home for questioning, as at this point it wasn't obvious whether or not he was a threat. And so for hours and hours they called out to him, first asking and then demanding that he exit his home.
James, Arlington Police, under the front door with your hands up, do it now. We have your building surrounded.
But still, there was no response. Growing impatient and worried that you might be planning something, the police would eventually bring in a specialized vehicle to bust down the door and spray the inside of the home with gas, all in an attempt to draw you outside.
James, stay away from your front door.
Oh God.
Stay away from your front door, James.
Was this man on YouTube the whole time?
And in response,
I'm trying to figure out the YouTube connection to this.
Only this
time, God.
He wasn't using flares.
Oh no.
And instead, he was now yielding an actual gun.
That's a gun.
Thankfully, none of these shots connected, but with the situation becoming increasingly dangerous, the officers
that's
decided
a
to
gun
pull back, as they carefully came up with a new plan for apprehending you, though whatever they had been planning would never come to fruition.
Oh no. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah.
With the Christmas decorations out there too, man.
Yeah. Holy shit!
Alrighty then.
In a split second, the home was gone, as a massive explosion rang out from inside the house, reducing the entire structure to rubble. Inside the house, Yu had stored 55 gallons of gasoline in his basement, which he saved for that moment to ignite with no warning and no explanation. Based on the footage, it's been theorized that Yu's actions were an attempt to lure police into his home so that he could then set off this explosion and take them all out along with his neighbors, as he genuinely believed that both parties were conspiring to kill him. Though somehow, when the smoke cleared, no civilians or police officers had so much as been injured. All that was found in the rubble was the remnants of a single body.
Thank God, unfortunately. I hate to say that, but like,
this wasn't the end of James Yu's story. Before that body could be identified, reports across social media began emerging showing that James Yu
no one else got
was
caught in it at all.
Still alive.
Yeah. Wait, what?
After the blast, comments were being made on what appeared to be Yu's YouTube channel,
Did
where
they
he
say he was
stated that
alive?
the whole thing was a cover-up and that he wasn't even inside the home when the standoff started, which, looking back, we never actually see him, and we also never hear his voice. Numerous posts pointing out this development would go viral and cause mass confusion about the story, which was only heightened when it was revealed that the body inside that building was in fact James Yu.
Oh, what is that?
Though in the end, it wasn't really as mysterious as some originally thought. As it turns out, the post showing these comments failed to realize that this wasn't actually Yu's account, and instead it had a completely different username, with the account likely having been created as nothing more than a hoax. To this day though, there are some that still believe that this was all some sort of massive cover-up. But in reality, it just seems that this was the result of a man group.
That explosion was like the last thing I was ready for.
With it all coming to a head in what has gone on to become
that like actually caught me. I was like, oh,
one of YouTube's darkest videos.
Oh, that was just
the...
Bro, I'm finna go, bro. That was just the beginning. That was just ain't even started the video yet, man. Oh my God.
The internet is a dark and disturbing frontier. This year alone, countless people have fallen victim to high-profile data breaches, raising serious concern about personal information security. Ticketmaster experienced a breach compromising over 560 million of their customer records, but most billion information security, security number, potential identities, much more breaches will be free, which will give Aura enough time to find.
Slap of your face, Nick. A slap of your face. Oh God.
This is the one I think your brother.
There was really nothing else like it.
20 minutes. 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 20 Oh no.
This obscure 27,000 square foot structure allowed
Kinda
visitors
cool.
to enter into what must have felt like another dimension. It was an
Whoa.
exhibit called Dream Space, and was
Is
the
it like
creation of
balloons?
British artist Maurice Haggis, a 74-year-old artistic visionary obsessed with the idea of creating large-scale surreal environments.
Whoa.
And this was his magnum opus. The structure was inflatable, akin to a massive bounce house, and once inside,
okay.
guests were confronted with a labyrinth of brightly colored
Yeah, but how
walls
do you
and
get
cells,
out?
twisting and turning into some sort of surreal maze that patrons were
That's what
told
I'm
to
nervous
lose
about.
themselves in.
Dang.
This piece of art premiered back in 2004.
I like it,
Due
but
to
I'm
its
also nervous.
inflatability, it was actually built to travel, making stops
Oh,
in
that's
major
kinda
cities
cool,
in the UK before
That
it was
is super
eventually set
cool,
up at
as long as
Riverside
there's
Park
some
in
sort of
Durham on
safety.
the 22nd of June, 2006.
Which
The very
clearly,
next day,
by
68-year-old
what we're
Elizabeth
watching,
Collins
something is
visited the
not
area
gonna
with
go
her
right.
husband and her daughter, as well as her 14-year-old grandson. And spotting this
Oh,
unusual
no.
structure in the distance, Elizabeth's grandson insisted on checking it out,
Hell yeah.
excitedly taking off his shoes and running inside.
That girl was
And while the rest of the
somersaulting
group
and
was more
shit.
apprehensive about entering, Elizabeth eventually decided to accompany him, leaving her husband and daughter on the outside, though not before turning back to them and joking that she was going in to find peace and serenity. Outside, Elizabeth's husband and daughter sat
now
at
I'm
a
even
nearby
more nervous.
table and enjoyed a cup of tea whilst conversing about the events of the week, only for the man to turn his head and notice that Dream Space was slightly moving, to which he excitedly said, "Oh, it's a ride, it's a ride. I wish I had gone on it."
Wait.
The daughter then turned her head to see the structure as it began to rise up off the ground,
Wait.
to which she chillingly responded,
Wait.
"It's not a ride."
It's not supposed to. Oh no. Oh no.
Did they not think about this?
Did they not like tie it down with a
That's what
ton
I'm
of stuff?
saying, man.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
In that moment, Dreamspace had snapped from its moorings and was blown into the air by a massive gust of wind. Haggis just so happened to be standing at the entrance as it began to shift, and noticing what was happening, he grabbed on as he desperately tried to hold down his entire life's work.
Oh god.
Though clearly this was of no use.
Yeah, no.
And after being lifted in the air, his grip failed, sending him falling back to the ground below where he lay staring up at his creation that was now flying 30 feet above him.
Oh god, he's a five
shit.
yeah. Holy shit. Holy crap.
Inside, there were as many as 30 people who were now being thrashed around this giant
Yeah.
inflatable structure in a
That's-
scene that I truly can't even imagine. The claustrophobia of it,
Look
the
at that,
dizzying
like,
colors, the screams. It's genuinely one of the most horrific scenarios I've ever heard. The inflatable structure was airborne for well over a minute, folding into itself before finally crashing back down into a parking lot, leaving behind what was described by witnesses as a field of bodies. Worst of all, the majority of those in attendance were families with small children,
Kids,
with one
yeah.
7-year-old girl recounting her experience, saying, "It was very scary and people were screaming. I saw a lady clinging on and then falling out, and then she was lying on her back with people around her.
At least she
I think she
fell.
died."
Oh,
This lady was most
that was-
likely 68-year-old
yeah.
Elizabeth Collins, who had been ejected from the structure when it was in the air, with her injuries being catastrophic and unsurvivable. Of all the others now sprawled throughout this field of grass, most were left injured but thankfully not in serious condition, though this wasn't the case for 38-year-old Claire Vermege, who had been inside during the accident with her 2 children, and despite her kids surviving, she was sadly not so lucky, with Claire and Elizabeth being the sole fatalities of the incident.
Holy shit, dude.
The video is terrifying, and though it's
Yeah,
easy
it
to say
is.
that this could have been so much worse, considering how many people were in Dreamspace at the time,
Yeah,
the
but
consequences
still.
were still
Oh my
catastrophic,
God.
as it devastated 2 families
That's
and likely left
insane.
many others at the scene traumatized for life, especially the young
Holy
children.
shit.
But how could this have happened? Well, that day was particularly warm, which likely caused the air inside the structure to expand, causing a hot air balloon-like effect, which was then exacerbated by sudden strong gusts of wind, which eventually caused the structure to go airborne, as in the end, it just wasn't properly secured for the conditions.
Yeah, I bet.
Soon after the incident, Maurice Haggis was arrested for manslaughter, though he would ultimately only end up paying a small fine, as he vowed to never create a large work again. Just a few years later in 2009, Maurice Haggis would pass away, with his legacy forever being defined by this devastating footage.
Yeah. Something so fun and so much enjoyment. All of a sudden, one day, just.
Okay, this is the one I think he was talking
This
about.
is the one. I think so. 'Cause, yeah, that was bad, but that wasn't.
On October 2nd, 2006, police entered the home of 31-year-old Elaine Campione. Inside, they found the woman speaking incoherently. Next to her was a VHS camera, depicting a series of disturbing events that had transpired within the home over the previous months and days.
Skip it.
With the footage eventually finding its way onto YouTube.
They found their way onto YouTube?
Hi, Serena. It's August 8th, 2006. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
The tape starts with Elaine pointing her new camera at her daughter Serena. It was her 3rd birthday, and to celebrate, Elaine had left a brand new bike in the living room.
What is it?
It's a bike.
Days later, the footage continues, showing Serena once again as Elaine asks,
How much does Mama love you?
This much.
Oh, I love you more than that. How much does your Mama love you?
Elaine then shows her other daughter Sophia, who was just a baby, before turning the camera on herself and showing the kids how the device worked.
Hi! See how the camcorder works? Look.
Yes, the farmers.
Look. Hi! Is that Mommy? Hi!
So far, the footage seems like nothing more than your standard family home videotape, and appears completely wholesome. Though with the next recording, the tone begins to shift, and things start to become slightly concerning.
This is a deplorable, horrible, messy, filthy apartment that supposedly my 2 children and I live in, and it's just a horrible, horrible mess. Yeah. I think Diego Campione is totally in the wrong, and I hope he burns in hell for all his sins, the same as Leonardo.
As Elaine shows the camera her home, she begins joking about how they are living in deplorable conditions, before randomly calling out 2 men who she says she hopes burn in hell, all while her children are in the same room. She starts to grow more and more agitated.
All I wanted to do was take care of my 2 little girls and live happily ever after the 3 years of physical, emotional, and mental abuse that I endured tremendously by Leonardo Campione, and then the past year from Anna and Diego Campione, the mental and emotional abuse.
Outright saying that she was by a man named Leonard Campione, who happened to be her ex-husband and the father of these children. And she goes on from there, with each moment clearly making the kids more and more anxious.
I want justice to my family for what they have all done to us. I cried out for help. They should have charged him for the assaults he did to me.
Eventually causing Elaine to snap out of it and stop the camera.
And my poor 3-year-old, I did everything to protect. And what are you saying, Sophia? What do you want?
There you go.
The video then skips forward once more, with this footage being taken just days before the police were called, showing Serena coloring on the floor as Elaine asks,
Who loves ya?
Mommy.
Who loves you the most? That much? Oh, I think I love you more than that.
The scene that unfolds next was recorded on that very same night, just hours later.
I know she's
recording this because Leo and there. Are you happy? Everything's gone. You wouldn't give peace. You wouldn't tell the truth. You didn't care about our babies. You didn't care about me. You care about yourself. All you did was hurt us.
She's gonna snap at her.
In the video, Elaine states that everything is gone, as she speaks to Leo directly, accusing him of having ruined their lives with his constant abuse.
You are truly the devil. And I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
That's fucking terrible.
I hate you, and I want you to know how much I hate you.
Disturbingly, the children were nowhere to be seen in this footage, with Elaine eventually addressing them by saying,
God believes me, and God's taking care of them now. They're protected by God. Thank God. Thank Him. Because there's no way I could have them with you. Nothing's good enough for you. It has to always be your way. Well, they're good. And you can have it your way. Your wife and your daughters are dead now. We're all in heaven.
According to Elaine, not only were her children gone, but she was too, as she stops the recording soon after. Despite saying this, the camera would actually start up one more time, where Elaine describes how she was still alive, despite having attempted to OD, which prompted her to call the police. When officers arrived at the home, both Serena and Sophia were found laying in her mother's bed, holding hands, and wrapped tightly in rosaries. Neither of them were alive. 2 nights prior, and directly before filming this message, Elaine had brought them both into the bathroom, as it was time for their nightly baths. And once in the tub, she told them to play a game, one where they would place their heads beneath the water and blow out bubbles. When they did this, Elaine held their heads down, and she didn't let go until she was certain they were gone. This footage is some of the most disturbing that I've ever seen, as we get a glimpse into Elaine's descent into madness in the moments directly before she stole her children's lives. But all of this leaves one obvious question. Why? Well, it was noted during her investigation that the abuse she alleged from her ex-husband Leo seemed to be very real and well documented over the years, leading to Leo not being able to see his children for over a year, with this causing the two to separate, which is when Elaine's mind began to deteriorate. She began believing that people were following her and were going to kill her, with this fear of people eventually shifting to a fear of aliens, as she claimed to have seen them on numerous occasions, believing they were following her. Because of this fear, she refused to let her children out of her sight, not even allowing her own parents to look after them, causing her to become so attached to these children that she genuinely began to believe that they were all one entity, which made things incredibly concerning when she became suicidal and eventually attempted to take her own life. Despite Leo's more than troubled history, he had supposedly turned his life around in the years leading to this footage, and was eventually allowed to start visiting the children on a limited capacity. And seeing the children and seeing the way their mother was behaving, he began to grow incredibly concerned, and eventually attempted to gain full custody.
I don't know.
And it was this bitter custody battle that seemed to be the ultimate factor that led to Elaine ending the lives of her children.
Nothing to do with this
God's
shit.
taking care of them now.
Nothing to do with the name thing, but being little kids.
God, I thank you. Because there's no way I could have them with you.
Elaine Campione would be charged with 2 counts of murder and would eventually be sentenced to life in prison, with a possibility of parole after 25 years. Today, she's held in a minimum security prison, where she's free to leave once every weekend to attend church and other functions.
Hey, man.
A lot more due to constraints. Damn, there's... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Road rage. Oh, boy.
No.
On April 18th, 2010, a 39-year-old man named Gavin Collins was released from the HMP Ranby prison in the UK. His freedom would last less than 24 hours, as the very next day he suffered a severe mental breakdown, the result of which was captured partially across several video recordings that later appeared on YouTube. This is the story of his rampage. It began at approximately 9 a.m. in the city of Nottinghamshire when Gavin left his home. As he walked down the sidewalk, those in the area reported him acting strangely, muttering to himself that he was Jesus and that he was invincible. Without warning, he then turned his attention to a random home, which he forcefully entered, stole a man's car.
Go the opposite way too,
taking off with no apparent destination.
Hey, police! Like
inside the car,
this
the
crazy
owner just so
going.
happened to have 2 cameras,
I'm running the
one being a
opposite way
standard
as
dash
fast as
cam
possible.
and the other facing inside the vehicle, giving us a look at Gavin and his apparent mental state.
Oh yeah, he's crazy. You can just see that.
This is me. Jesus Christ! I'll show you how good a eyesight I've got. Hey, don't need this. Come on, let's go, bro. So, get rid of all the crap hairs. Let's go! Let's go!
Just at a glance, it's obvious that Gavin is completely unhinged. For some reason, he was utterly filled with rage, ripping off the rearview mirror and yelling obscenities and incomprehensible threats at no one in particular.
I'm enraged! I'm Jesus! I'm descendant of God! And you lock me up! Watch this!
Oh boy.
And most concerning of all is the speed in which he's traveling, as he starts driving faster and faster, swerving in and out of cars as he passes through busy residential areas, as he reaches speeds that have been estimated to be anywhere from 85 miles an hour to well over 120.
Watch this now! I'm getting stronger and stronger by the second!
Then you're gonna nail something.
Man.
But somehow, despite countless close calls, every time he avoids collision. At least for the time being.
Yeah, for now.
Uh-oh, there we go.
There it is. Yep.
In an instant, Gavin smashes the vehicle into a brick home at full speed, with the impact being devastating.
Yeah.
And yet somehow, through the destruction, Gavin was not only still alive, but completely unharmed, and also completely unfazed. He pulled himself from the wreckage and immediately turned his attention to a woman driving nearby, and within moments he had forced his way into the vehicle, and was behind the wheel once again, continuing this deranged driving spree, until once again he crashed. And much like the initial collision, he survived, walking away unscathed before turning his attention to another random home. In pursuit of stealing his third vehicle, he grabbed a nearby concrete slab and began to smash through the home's doors, bloodying his hand in the process, before eventually making entry. Inside were a mother and her two children, one of which was 5 years old, and the other wasn't even here. Gavin approached the terrified family, yelling and demanding that the mother give up her car keys, telling her that he was Jesus, and that, because I am Jesus, I will kill you if you don't give me the keys. Without hesitation, she did as he said. Gavin then went to each member of the family, and with his injured hand, he drew crosses on their forehead, out of his own blood, before taking off with his third stolen car.
Okay, good. Left him. You didn't hurt him. Alright, that's fine. It's fucked up, but you didn't hurt him. We're good. Alright.
Once again, Gavin was driving manically, though this time he was even more reckless, crashing into a brick wall and then a cop car. Before setting his sights on pedestrian. While speeding through a neighborhood, Gavin would see a man standing innocently near a bus stop, and for whatever reason, the sight of this man enraged him, causing Gavin to slam on the brakes and reverse the vehicle, stepping on the gas as hard as he could, and crashing directly into him, leaving him lying there with devastating injuries. Gavin quickly exited the vehicle and found the man lying motionless on the ground, prompting him to shout, "I've killed him. I've killed the devil." Minutes later, Gavin would crash yet another car into yet another home.
Jesus Christ.
But this time, the police weren't far behind.
As on a rampage.
I got a taser.
Yeah. They don't have many guns and shit, so I wonder if they even have guns, honestly.
I'll get him out. Oh no!
You gonna have to tase his ass.
Finally bringing his disturbed driving spree to an end. The man that Gavin had struck was 87-year-old Terry Radford, a retired teacher whose injuries were catastrophic, with the man passing away soon after. According to his family, Terry was an incredible father and son.
I guess that was the
footage
devil.
is genuinely horrifying, but what's most shocking of all is the fact that any of this was even
a kind 87-year-old
this
grandfather,
was
man.
Gavin's
This
very
guy
first day
might
of
be the
prison.
devil.
And based on the behavior he exhibited whilst in prison, he really should have never been released. Gavin was granted an early release in March of 2019 for charges based on burglary, but just as he was set to be freed, it was discovered that he had submitted an adulterated drug test, which caused his case to be re-examined and resulted in his release being postponed. In response, Gavin lost his mind. Later that month, he assaulted a prison guard before spraying him with an unknown liquid that
why was he
contained
released
bleach,
at all?
before proceeding to set his cell on fire and attacking another officer with a piece of wood. Due to his actions, Gavin was placed into an isolated cell, where less than a week later he started yet another fire, and when an officer entered his cell to put it out, Gavin struck them in the head and pulled out a plastic knife, threatening to slash him, stating that it would be a thrill to kill him. Gavin's stay in prison clearly hadn't rehabilitated him. In fact, it seemed to have made him more violent than ever before, and more mentally disturbed.
But that's
Though
how they do,
shockingly,
though.
despite
Like,
all of these
release
additional
people
crimes,
back out in
Collins' release
society.
would go on to be approved less than 2 weeks
Crazy
later,
as hell.
with Gavin being set free on April 18th.
Y'all deal with him.
And within just 24 hours, Terry Radford would be brutally killed. Gavin was sentenced to 21 years in prison, and during his trial it was revealed that no drugs were found in his system, and instead this all seemed to be the result of some sort of psychotic episode that just so happened to be captured on camera in one of YouTube's darkest videos.
Damn. Jesus Christ.
They be like, yeah, y'all deal with him out there, man, because
Yeah. We don't want to deal with him anymore.
yeah,
That's crazy.
I know.
They tripping, bro. They tripping.
Nick fucking Crowley. That was a great video, though.
It is a great video. We got any other creepy ass ones that we need to put on it? I did actually have another kind of weird one, but I don't know. If it's, I don't know. It's for that one guy. the creepy pastas. This guy based on scary stories, but that's just different. You know.
But shit, you can put it on there. We chilling.
That the 3-boobed man. Could watch about the greatest harlot of all time.
She may just be though.
She really might be. She's getting set up to do something else, I guess. But I was reading. She's trying to set the. I was, yeah.
Abandoned by Disney.
Yeah.
Abandoned by Disney is a whole series of creepypastas surrounding Disney's alleged unexplained abandonment of certain resorts in the Bahamas and in the US. The Abandoned by Disney creepypasta was originally written by Slimebeast, a well-known internet horror writer who's created several viral creepypastas, including Funny Mouth, I Hate You, and Lost Episodes.
I hate you.
The Abandoned by Disney story basically goes that at some undefined point in the 2000s, Disney allegedly spent $30 million on a resort in the Bahamas called Treasure Island, which, according to the story, they supposedly later abandoned without a convincing reason.
Well, damn.
Based on the creepypasta, there was another resort that Disney abandoned under mysterious circumstances.
Up out of there.
This one was located near the beachside city of Emerald Isle in North Carolina, and it was supposed to be a jungle-themed resort by the name of Mowgli's Palace. According to Slimebeast, the project was extremely controversial from the start, as Disney allegedly did some pretty sketchy stuff to acquire the land they required for the palace. Still, the creepypasta mentions that construction for Mowgli's Palace did end up getting completed and even started to receive tourists for a while before being unexplainably abandoned in some pretty murky circumstances.
So where is it?
The author of the story then alleges that he ended up visiting the abandoned resort to take some pictures and see what he could find, and that's where the creepypasta gets pretty disturbing. Based on the story, the resort had pretty much been stripped bare and left to rot over the years. Most of the things that were big enough to take back from the resort had been stolen, leaving only desks, refrigerators, abandoned statues, other miscellaneous objects, and the buildings themselves to show for the once functional Mowgli's Palace.
Oh God!
Allegedly, Disney had also released their exotic animals onto the grounds upon abandoning the resort, including the sharks they once kept in their aquarium and 80-foot-long pythons, one of which supposedly slithered right in front of the creepypasta author, who initially assumed it was a statue. Disturbingly, the creepypasta mentions that dozens of walls, staircases, and objects along around the resort had been spray painted with the words "Abandoned by Disney," possibly by disgruntled employees who were fed up with Disney's sketchy doings. At one point in the story, the author allegedly went down the stairs into a room that was labeled Mascots Only and came across a photo-negative version of a Mickey Mouse costume that somehow pulled its own head off in front of the author to scare him. Obviously, pretty much every single detail about this story from start to finish is completely
made up, yeah.
The same goes for every other story that's a part of this Abandoned by Disney creepypasta series.
That's pretty cool, huh?
But it actually was based on some real events. There was once a real resort on a real island that Disney mysteriously abandoned back in the late 90s. Between 1974 and 1999, Discovery Island in Bay Lake, Florida was a popular Disney attraction open to the public, who were drawn there by the dozens of wild animal species roaming around the tropical landscape. Disturbingly, the resort ended up getting charged with animal cruelty after the company admitted that a few vultures had died after being captured by their employees. For unrelated, unspecified, and mysterious reasons, Disney Island was closed in 1999, and the name Discovery Island was passed on to one of the lands in Disney's Animal Kingdom. Since its closing, the island was pretty much left abandoned to rot under the elements, and over the years its structures have sustained major hurricane damage.
It was a freaking island.
Interestingly, as of 2024, all buildings and attractions of the original resort remain on the island, which gives it a pretty creepy and nostalgic vibe. Nowadays, the area is fully off limits to the public, but that hasn't stopped a few urban explorers from venturing out into the island and finding some pretty disturbing stuff.
Ouch, a manhunt for the treasure.
Urban explorer Shane Perez visited the island 5 years after its abandonment, swimming through 300 feet of freezing cold, alligator-infested Florida lake water to reach Discovery Island and spend the night exploring the remains of the mysterious resort.
Not swimming through that.
Interestingly, during their visit, Shane and his friends discovered that several lights throughout the island were still somehow working.
What?
And a little more disturbingly, they found all kinds of odd things in the abandoned sheds, including snakes stuffed in Coke bottles and a bunch of animals that were left behind by Disney when the island closed, which is pretty similar to what was mentioned in the fictional creepypasta. Although Shane and his friends were only able to explore half of the island before the sun rose again, they uploaded all of their findings onto a now infamous blog post that ended up being featured on the news. Obviously, this didn't make Disney look too good, and as a result of trespassing, Shane was banned from all Disney resorts for the rest of his life.
Damn.
But he triggered a wave of intrigue around the island that has endured until this day.
Yeah,
Over the years, a few more urban explorers have attempted to explore the island, leading to some pretty interesting videos, blog posts, and pictures. Nowadays, the island is under extremely heavy 24/7 surveillance, which would make it almost impossible to explore for a regular
it's not just
civilian.
sitting there.
Still, the abandoned island turned creepypasta was one of the dozens of things that have irreparably damaged the public's perception of Disney, as it's pretty clear that behind the cute mouse costumes and the fairy tale facade, there's a bunch of stuff the higher-ups of the company definitely don't want the public to see.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, Walt Disney was a piece of shit, let's be honest.
In April 2012, a Reddit user named Blue Title posted a story titled "The Smiling Man."
Man's never good.
The story basically goes that at some point in 2012, Blue Title went for a solo walk in the middle of the night in Seattle, Washington after his roommate had fallen asleep. At some point in the evening, between the hours of 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., he saw a strange-looking man dancing at the other end of the street. In the user's own words, it was a strange dance, similar to a waltz, but he finished each box with an odd forward stride. I guess you could say he was dance-walking, headed straight for me. At first, Blue Title tried to walk past him, giving the man as much space as possible to avoid coming into contact with him, but the guy just kept dancing closer and closer. What's most disturbing about the account is the way the user describes the man's appearance. Based on the original post, the man was tall, lanky, wore an old suit, and had an extremely eerie expression on his face.
For real.
His eyes were wide open and his head was tilted back to look at the sky. Even more unsettling, his mouth was twisted into a forced-looking smile that seemed permanently fixed on his face. To make a long story short, the smiling man ended up chasing Blue Title for several blocks until the user eventually outran him and made it back to his apartment safely. There's a lot more detail to the chase, but I'm leaving out some of it for simplicity. Based on what was mentioned in the post, the user continued to live in that city for another 6 months and never went out on another solo walk again.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't for a long time.
This is usually the kind of story that you would read and immediately dismiss as fake, but the smiling man is one of those posts that there's no good reason to believe it's not true. After the story was posted, the smiling man turned into something of an urban legend and became a classic creepypasta, often being featured in horror forms and even being turned into multiple different viral short films over the years. Still, the original story was not designed to be a creepypasta as it came to be over time. The author has continued to insist it's real. For context, the Let's Not Meet subreddit, which is where the story was originally posted, was created for people to share their true accounts of scary in-person encounters they experienced firsthand. As per the guidelines of the subreddit, no fictional or paranormal stories are allowed, and any indication that a story was made up usually results in the post being immediately removed. All this to say that the Let's Not Meet admins make a big effort to keep the subreddit clean from any kind of stories that are obviously fake. That's not to say that some fabricated stories don't slip through the cracks from time to time, but I don't think the Smiling Man is one of them.
No, it sounds
Looking into Blue Title's activity on other subreddits, I found that they seem pretty honest and genuine, often discussing martial arts, music, and other topics unrelated to creepypastas and internet horror lore. The fact that the Smiling Man is pretty much the only story the user has told since opening his account in 2012 is a pretty good indication that it's true. On top of that, dozens of users over the years have claimed to have seen the Smiling Man themselves, and a lot of the times it's the original author himself who shows up in the threads to fact-check them and call them out when they're embellishing the story or fabricating details that are obviously fake. And sure, this is by no means 100% definitive proof that the Smiling Man was real, but I'm honestly inclined to believe that this actually happened. As for what the Smiling Man's intentions were on that night in 2012, it's really anyone's guess. I'd probably guess the guy was either under the influence of drugs, mentally insane, or really going out of his way to mess with Blue Title for no reason.
Or just
with so many years having gone by since this incident took place, we'll likely never know. The only thing we can be sure of is that it's probably a good thing the OP ran.
A weird guy on drugs.
You never know what someone who's clearly not in their right mind is capable of, especially when they're in
that British guy was on no drugs, so we can clearly saw people can go crazy without drugs.
The year was 1991.
Wait, what?
In April of 2015, a Reddit user with the mysterious name I'm Sorry Michael posted a harrowing story in the No Sleep subreddit where he shared his first-hand experience of what it was like witnessing a 4-year-old get kidnapped from a school playground in the early 90s. Now, it's important to keep in mind that the No Sleep subreddit doesn't always feature true stories. In fact, it almost never does. It's pretty much entirely creepypastas, but you'll see why that's not so relevant in a second. The post was titled "The Year Was 1991," and in it, the OP basically tells the story of how he arrived at a school sports field to toss around a ball with some family friends on a warm spring day. As soon as he arrived at the field, the OP allegedly saw a little boy in a blue jacket running on the playground close to the playing field. Suddenly, a suspicious-looking dark van pulled up to the playground and parked right over the hopscotch outline. A few seconds later, a man in a sketchy-looking, low-quality bear costume got out of the vehicle, promised the little boy some candy, and put him in the back of the van before driving away. Based on the post, the uploader immediately got into his vehicle and tried to catch up with the van, but because he was so unfamiliar with the area, he ended up getting lost. As soon as he called 911, the operator allegedly scolded him for prank calling and hung up on him.
What?
It wasn't until the next day that the OP supposedly saw in the news that a 4-year-old boy named Michael Dunahee had disappeared from a school playground the day before. Interestingly, through my research, I was able to find that Michael Dunahee was a real kid that had disappeared, and it really did take place on a school playground in 1991, which makes this Reddit post incredibly creepy. The real story goes that on March 24th, 1991, Crystal Dunahee, Michael's mother, was going to participate in a women's flag football practice at Blandshart Elementary School in Victoria, British Columbia. As soon as she arrived with her son at the school at around 12:30 p.m., Michael asked if he could go to the playground by himself. Immediately, Crystal felt that something wasn't right, but she let her son walk to the playground by himself under the condition that he had to stay there until his dad arrived at the school. Unfortunately, by the time his dad arrived, Michael was gone. A search was immediately launched, and Michael was officially declared a missing person. That day, the little boy had been wearing a blue hooded jacket, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles t-shirt, rugby pants, and blue sneakers.
Hell yeah.
But despite the massive search effort, which quickly became one of the largest police investigations in Canadian history, Michael was never seen again. Over the years, the cops have received over 11,000 tips on the disappearance, but none of them have led to anything significant. Strangely, even though there were dozens of people at the school field that day, there were no witnesses to Michael's disappearance.
Except for Buddy on Reddit.
And the only thing that we could get out of a nearby passerby was that a man in his late 40s or early 50s with a brown van was seen near the playground around the time of the disappearance. Overall, a lot of the details from the official investigation match up perfectly with the Reddit posts, but the majority of them were never confirmed by the cops. It's likely that the OP completely made the story up. But that doesn't change the fact that this is at least based on a real event that happened. Sadly, because the disappearance took place over 35 years ago, it's unlikely that Michael will ever be found at this point. The Alice Killings. The Alice Killings is a Japanese urban legend according to which from 1999 to 2005, a series of brutal, unexplainable murders took place in multiple different towns in Japan. Based on the legend, each victim's life was taken in a very different fashion, and the only thing that tied the murders together was the fact that a playing card was found near or on the victims' bodies when they were found by cops or passersby. Disturbingly, the legend mentions that on the playing cards, the killer would write the name Alice in the victim's blood. For example, one of the victims was allegedly buried in a shallow grave with a Queen of Clubs marking its entrance. Another card with the King of Diamonds was found crammed into the hand of another victim at a bar. Over time, people started putting their own twists on the urban legend, turning it into a creepypasta and adding all kinds of details to the original story, as usually happens online. But even though the specific details in the story of the Alice Killings are all fake, they're all based on a completely true story that's—
We should watch some of these short films.
I didn't even know these.
In 2003, an ex-military security officer in Madrid, Spain, named Alfredo Galán Satillo shot a 50-year-old man named Juan Francisco Ledesma in the head in front of his 2-year-old son. From there, Alfredo went on to kill another 5 victims over the next month, all of them picked completely randomly and for no good reason. After taking his second victim's life, he left a tarot card with an ace of clubs near the crime scene, after which, as you can probably guess, the media started sensationalizing the case, giving Alfredo much more attention than he deserved. And thanks to that, he went on to kill another 4 victims and severely injure another 3, often leaving tarot cards at the scene to fit the picture the media made of him. In addition to the cards, the killer did have a particular MO in the way he took his victims' lives. All of them were shot at point-blank range, and all of them were picked at random, unlike most serial killers who often stalk and get to know their victims before taking their lives.
Yeah, he's just crazy.
On July 3rd, 2003, the playing card killer, as he quickly became known, turned himself into the police in a severely intoxicated state, immediately confessing to the string of murders that had taken Madrid by storm that year. As soon as he sobered up, he tried to take back his confession, but at that point it was too late, as he had already revealed to the cops certain details about the pen markings on the cards that weren't even made public.
Yeah, I know.
Disturbingly, during the investigation, it was
Duty,
revealed
man.
that before carrying out his gruesome crimes, the killer would wish his victims good morning and ordered them to kneel down before executing them. That same year, Galan was sentenced to 142 years in prison, a punishment he's serving to this day. In 2023, Netflix made a documentary about him titled The Playing Card Killer. And at the end of the day, that's probably what these killers really want deep down.
Yeah,
attention.
fame. Yeah.
But fortunately, he won't be getting out anytime
He
soon.
doesn't get any money from
Let's
it
just
either,
hope
I
the
hope.
crazy amount of attention the media gives these killers doesn't motivate more lunatics to seek notoriety through these kinds of crimes.
Like
I
you
guess
said,
if
you
he
don't
does-
get.
The Doppelganger.
I don't know what you gonna get out of
The
it.
Doppelganger is a pretty well-known
Even if he
creepypasta
dead,
that tells the
he
fictional
wouldn't be able to
story
do
of a
anything
kid
with
named
140
Trey who
years
lived with
in
his
jail.
parents in a small rural county in eastern Tennessee. Based on the original Reddit post titled The Doppelganger, Trey's father Henry was a county warden who usually came home from work late in the evenings. One night, Henry came home and hesitantly let his wife and son know that one of his co-workers had been missing for 2 days. That same night, Trey's mom and dad made him promise that he wouldn't open the door for anyone, even for his own parents. The next day, Henry announced to his family that his co-worker Mike's body had been found by a creek. Disturbingly, he also mentioned that even though Mike had only been reported missing for 2 days, his body was declared to be at least 2 weeks old when the authorities found him. This of course meant that somebody had been posing as Mike for several days, spending time with his family and going through his days pretending to be him. That night when Trey went up to his room, he heard a knock on his window. It was his dad's voice asking to let him in, and claiming that he had just gone outside to check on something and had accidentally locked himself out. Eerily, that's when Trey's dad appeared in his doorframe, holding a finger up to his lips, signaling for his son to be quiet. After scaring away whoever was at the window, the family went down to sit together at the kitchen table, fearing for their lives. Later that evening, the impersonator once again tried to enter the house, pretending to be Trey's dad. This time, Henry called his officer friends over, who agreed to help him track down whoever or whatever it was that was pretending to be him. While his dad was out, Trey went up to his room to hide under the blankets, and when his dad came back, he scolded him and his mother for having left the front door unlocked. Still, the family went to sleep, and the next morning, Trey woke up to an overpowering smell coming from his parents' bedroom. He immediately realized his parents weren't home. Upon opening his parents' closet door, the body of a woman who looked just like his mother tumbled out and onto the floor. As soon as his parents got home, they made up a story to explain what had happened, softening some of the details so their son wouldn't end up even more traumatized. The creepypasta ends with Trey noticing that his dad's hair is a different shade of black than it usually was, leaving the story on a cliffhanger. Obviously, pretty much everything in the creepypasta is entirely made up. But the story itself was based on an illness called Capgras syndrome, which is a real psychiatric condition in which people end up convinced that their family members and other people close to them have been replaced by imposters or doppelgangers. Through my research, I found that people with Capgras syndrome often end up becoming aggressive and even violent with the loved ones they accuse of being imposters.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
And disturbingly, a pretty clear correlation has been found between Capgras syndrome and violent homicides within families. I also found that people with pre-existing neurological disorders such as Parkinson's disease, epilepsy, and stroke are more prone to developing Capgras syndrome, as well as people who suffer from schizophrenia and similar illnesses. One particular case that caught my attention involved a 24-year-old male veteran who turned himself into the police to confess that he had allegedly been violent with his girlfriend. Interestingly, when the cops called his girlfriend to get her side of the story, she mentioned that the allegations were completely false and that her boyfriend had no history of violence. What followed was a pretty confusing series of events where the patient ended up revealing that he was convinced his entire family were imposters. Disturbingly, he claimed that his mother had been replaced by a government employee who had been sent to elicit a confession from him about his behavior while he was in the military. Apparently, the guy was guilty about having taken naps during work hours and punching a wall during boot camp and was scared that his mother would find out about it. Even though the man claimed he had also been violent with his mother, she denied the allegations and assured the doctors that her son was not a violent person. Fortunately, after treatment the guy was okay, but I can't imagine how terrifying it must be both to wake up convinced that your family isn't really your family and to no longer be recognized by someone you love.
That would be crazy.
And they be convinced too.
Merry Christmas, bro. Merry Christmas.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're looking at the most bloody or horrific disasters occurring on or near Christmas.
This is on my personal, like, watch later shit. I got some morbid shit over here, too.
Appalling weather and driving rain and howling gales. And it was just the most perfectly tranquil day.
Right? It's just, I don't know.
The USSR invades
Morbid,
Afghanistan.
crazy stuff is just
At
as
the time, no
interesting
one
as
knew,
good and
but they were
kind
sure of one
and funny
thing.
stuff.
The situation in the Afghan provinces was becoming
Let's put shit in
extremely
a different
serious,
mood.
especially
That's
close
all.
to the Pakistan border, where a large number of anti-communist combatants
I'm
had
bad,
taken
bro.
refuge.
Christmas Eve
I get like hurt and
1979
just
marked
disturbed,
the
but like
beginning
I just
of one of the
so
longest and
interested in this
bloodiest
stuff. You know what I mean?
boondoggles
Like,
in Russian history. That day, the Soviet Union launched its invasion of Afghanistan. What began as a covert
Watch Mojo
operation to
just-
prop up a
sometimes they
faltering
do
communist
things just
government
too
quickly
news-like
spiraled into a decade-long quagmire. Years of death, displacement,
like they
and
need to have a
despair
creepier voice for
follow.
this.
They said they'd been invited in to repel foreign intervention after a coup. In truth, President Hafizullah
See, like that, you know what I'm saying? After a coup.
Darul-Aman Palace,
Yeah, I mean-
not by Afghans, but by Soviet
Come on, you
special
lost me.
forces, the Spetsnaz.
Fuck you. I'm gonna go hear about this harlot for a second.
consecutive hours getting ran through, and now I'm going to be doing
Ran.
24.
I need to see what this harlot's
I'm
up
going to be
to.
going for the world record.
Real quick, at least see what is she doing. I don't plan on watching all of this.
I'm going to go for 1,000.
1,000?
A couple of weeks ago, I made a
I
video
wonder if
on
Guinness
this
is gonna
professional harlot
recognize.
OnlyFans star, Lily Phillips, who engaged in the
How is that even gonna
100 men
work?
in 24 hours, or if you want to be exact, it was 14 hours. But who's really keeping track when you sleep with 100 men? Nonetheless, right? In the midst of recording the video, I
Wait a
just
minute.
figured, hey, you know, she's documenting this
1,000?
process. She had the prior sort of advertisement, did what she did, and then afterwards she had said, well, she's gonna go and sleep with 1,000 afterwards, right? But it's come to my attention last week, a YouTuber by the name of Josh Peters, or Peters, however the last name would be pronounced, shout out to him, dropped a documentary which essentially covered a month prior, upwards up until the event of her sleeping with these 100 dudes, and then ultimately the fallout. And to my shock, astonishment, I'm absolutely flummoxed by the reaction to the release of the documentary, because somehow Lily Phillips have garnered a ton of sympathy. Dare I say, some individuals feels as if she's victimized.
She's the victim.
Oh, if it's not the consequences of my own actions. And I'm absolutely perturbed, if you will, by how we've got to this conclusion. So I did a complete full documentary breakdown.
I can tell you how we got
Piece
to
by
that
piece
conclusion.
is up on Patreon because, of course, YouTube probably
white
will not
lady,
allow
she
me to go and
started
post
crying.
it. Granted, there are other individuals who did mess around and post their reactions, but let's call it what it is. You know, they play me.
She's
by
a
different
she's a
rules. So that one's
halfway
exclusively
decent
up on
white
Patreon.
lady.
But
She started crying.
brief synopsis
She started
summary
crying.
of everything that
Does it not look like she had like work done in the first two little
that
like the
I
look
found
like in between?
very
I don't-
disturbing, and furthermore,
You
incredibly
about right?
hypocritical
I don't know.
in this entire documentary as to why you should feel zero
About
sympathy
right.
for this harlot. Dare I say,
Yeah,
any
why would you
sort
ever
of
feel sympathy
microcosm
for
of
her?
sympathy that does exist, if you're able to have that, you know, build inside of your psyche.
She wanted to have sex with 100 dudes. She had sex with 100 dudes.
The individuals on her team.
Everybody
or
forced her to do that.
her PA.
Yeah, she
We'll
wanted
get
to do
into
it.
that
Now
one.
she wants to go for more.
Let's now dive into the documentary of the harlot known as Lily Phillips.
I gotta hear.
I went viral for letting 23 guys run a train on me.
So it's 23 first.
You gotta build up to this, bro.
Yeah, right.
Was planning on hosting an event where she would sleep with 100 of her fans in a single day.
Now, there's a couple of things that I want to point out here. First and foremost, she describes herself as a meat sleeve. Secondly, there were numerous different moments in the documentary in which they showed publication for her advertising this event of sleeping with 100 dudes. It wasn't an isolated sort of extemporaneous kind of thing.
You gotta get 100 dudes that are willing to do it there, right? Like, I mean, you gotta advertise it.
She was promoting this for over a month.
Damn.
So those individuals who felt as if she was taking...
She put in the work on this, G.
Yes, she's
Yeah.
a hoe.
That's really quiet.
Some people would be like, you're insane, like, I would have to be
I'm like, no, that's just fun to me.
Now, this is very important. Why is that? This is a month before she sleeps with 100 dudes, right? And she had slept with 23 dudes a week prior. And in the midst of that, she said she enjoys it.
Yeah, she
Furthermore,
enjoys
her upbringing never really talks too much about her childhood, but she said she was a whore in college. Then figured, well, why not get paid for it and upload it onto OnlyFans? Now I want you guys to take into account what is the common denominator here.
You can make money off of it. You enjoy it. Fuck
to do all of it. You see why it really makes no sense?
This is what she likes. If we told her not to do it, we'd be like the guy's wife telling him not to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh no.
Yes,
it ain't hurt nobody really.
Confusion starts to set in because last
think.
in the 21st century,
She's
I thought we were
providing
going through
a
this
service.
sexual revolution,
Right? I mean, unless she's got a
For the
disease.
nation right now.
perverse things, and
She's got a disease.
She's a
man.
hero.
She's
As far
But
as
all
I'm
of a sudden, you're
concerned.
casting out symptoms, saying, "Well, she must be a victim of something." These 100 men must be
You're a
taking
fool.
advantage.
But I know what you're saying.
What happened to My Body, My Choice? I thought she was a grown woman who's making her own decisions. Disgusting, albeit. But
like,
why
that was
is
it.
it that now, when you see the reality of the situation and the circumstances of her actions, now all of a sudden, well, it must be a man's fault? I'm a little confused here.
Hi, nice to meet you.
So tall, isn't it?
Is you a PA?
Yes, yeah.
So how many people are there in Team Lily?
8, 9?
There's 9.
I don't know. Yeah, quite a.
I think we're on 9 now.
Yeah, 9 now. Yeah.
9 payroll members of staff.
Yeah.
She's got 9 members on staff. Yeah.
Now, why is this important? Her personal
I bet she makes
is a
good money on
woman.
OnlyFans.
Furthermore, her operation is a team of 9 to operate her OnlyFans. This lady is a CEO of her own operation.
She making money, clearly.
Oh, wow, she was taken advantage of. By who?
Clearly decent.
Herself? Now, here's a great question. Where were the parents? Well, it seems we have an answer now, don't we?
Your family and your parents are proud of you and what you've achieved.
Well, my parents knew straight from the start, like, about what I was doing. Yeah, I was just very open with it. Obviously, at the start, they were a bit apprehensive because they want me to be safe and they want me to make good decisions and stuff like that. I just think I can't hold myself back and do something that I'm scared what other people might think.
Now,
Is she like actually like an adult film star too, or did she just like go straight to OnlyFans?
She wanted to go into, and then furthermore, she pushed
you're right.
at her parents when they were apprehensive about her going into this because she's an adult and she made her own decisions. But here's the kicker in this entire scenario: her mother is her finance manager. What?
Tell me I did not just see that.
Might as well employ the family.
All right, so boom, the holiday season is here. Christmas is
well.
on the horizon. Help, it's not a single time. This Slackgate. That's as free.
Back to your regularly scheduled
Paying
program.
the bills right
Thinking,
now.
oh man, this is clear exploitation from the parents. They must have been taking advantage of. Oh no,
Clearly not.
She
Their
willfully
mom's on the staff.
had
Mom's
no
on
idea
staff,
that
so
this
she
was
clearly is
this
fine.
wasn't included in the documentary. And then furthermore, regarding her
Mom's actually like, hey, we
well,
need to make another couple videos because I haven't gotten paid yet.
about
So
him,
you need to
but
get
his friends
putting some shit out.
subscribers on her OnlyFans.
I need 150, 200
Have
guys
you, like,
next. Let's-
recognized any of the names in here of people that you might know?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's been some guys like outwardly say like we used to go to school together, or some of like dad's friends and stuff like that.
What messaging you?
Yeah.
Maybe she had some form of unresolved trauma from childhood. Maybe there needs to be some form of mental illness. Or maybe she's just a prostitute.
Yeah.
How about that? She's a
She clearly doesn't care who it is or what you look like when it comes to the 100 guys things and stuff.
What the fuck? You've got to find a way to sympathize for this
Over 1,000 dudes, like, you're gonna have to let like everybody in.
You've got spreadsheets. This is incredible.
Right? Like,
I can't believe you tried to tell me you weren't a businesswoman at one point. You've got a spreadsheet.
This guy's paid for a bottle of spit in a 6-minute video.
A bottle of spit in a
I paid for like a bottle of spit. Just me like spitting into a bottle.
And is he going to receive that? Or?
Yeah, I'll send it in the post.
Nasty bitch, stinking bastard.
We're talking about a woman who would willfully send a bottle of spit in the mail.
Why not if they're gonna pay for it?
To find sympathy for her. In fact, we're talking about a lady who not only sleeps with 23 people in a day, 30
nasty ass dudes. I'm not mad. She ain't nasty for that. The dude buying is nasty.
Whose form of vengeance?
If she's not nasty, we're taking advantage of creepy ass, fucking nasty ass dudes.
When I found out,
We know the trauma. Okay,
I went out and guy and just left the in there, and then went to see my ex who had cheated on me and let him like out. But that's just revenge. That's not. You violated me, cheating on me.
Left the cum in there. Wait, how do you know? How do you? Well, like, you can just like. I don't know. Like you can just like decide to leave it.
Half of Twitter is having sympathy for this harlot here.
Yes.
Apparently.
However, what she was planning to do in a couple of weeks' time had never been seen before.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
I bet.
This is where the applications are coming through.
Where the guys are messaging him. I had it switched off for a little bit, so it's just.
So how are you doing this? You put out a phone number
Yeah.
and people can just apply?
So that's happening real time?
Post.
Oh, yeah.
That many people are trying to bone this girl in one day?
Now here's what's
well, she gonna make it to 1,000 probably.
The impression was that it was people who were subscribed to her OnlyFans that received the privilege of having the opportunity to be the 1 in 100. However, in the midst of the documentary, when the day of came, there was nothing but pure debauchery that was going on. Her team did not know how to operate the entire situation. And furthermore, it came a point, and I touched on this in the prior video, there came a point where they thought they weren't going to be able to make it to the 100.
Hey, just my feet. Just my
How are
feet.
you doing?
Yeah, we saw this. Yeah, we saw. Oh yeah, please. We saw this part.
Hey guys, you enjoying yourself?
Yeah, I am. First group scene done. That was a lot of fun. And now I'm on to number 60.
Currently
Oh, that's
7
good.
p.m. About
Yeah,
I think about 70 people through.
Lily's PA gave us some more updates and promised us that they were nearly finished.
How far off is she from finishing?
Not far. I thought we're nearly done. We're nearly
Yeah,
done.
she
We've
got
got a few
that, she got
people
that.
who have like gone home and then
We got this. We're in the stretch.
How sick it was, and we're like, yeah, bring it. Like, send your friends.
You know how excited they probably were when they knew they had everything locked in. Everybody's here. We're locked in.
With 100
About to make it.
in a day. And furthermore, I just want to make sure that you guys understand, there was no protection that was being worn at the beginning of the session, because it was a full-on session.
I'll start usually with a club, and then I'd say like, is there anything you like, don't like, any certain position you want?
It's
to
a
do?
full-on
And
session?
then, yeah, we kind of got straight into
Did
it.
you do the with a condom on or?
No,
No.
I
condom
didn't.
off
Condom off.
Okay, and then but then like once they're having sex and it's like
Yeah, condom
on type
Yeah.
thing.
You sick freak!
She literally was on it though. Hey, at least she was on it.
She said that those with STI checks were prioritized. However, remember, she had gone on a podcast that I stated in the previous video.
Yeah, they all wore condoms.
Are they all tested?
So testing wasn't mandatory. So there'd be priority if they got a test.
Okay.
So like we tried to just make it a bit more desirable.
I want you to really ponder how filthy of a human being you have.
You're not even required to get tested, Jimmy.
Multitude
I love
of
her.
other numerous different partners in such a
No.
small
I don't know what she do.
You could have not only
She finna come-
contracted
they
the
finna
STI, STD,
create a new
HIV,
disease
whatever the
over there,
case
bro.
may be, boss.
Yeah, she's about to have something new inside of her, man.
Person, and since
I feel sorry for the dude that catches it.
furthermore,
know.
how nasty you have got to be as a unit
Oh,
to
no.
allow people to just call up randomly.
People need to study her
They had
uterus
a
and
couple of
vaginal
security
area
that was there
when
on
she
the
dies.
scene, but you really don't know who you're bringing in. In fact, there was a moment in which the interviewer had asked her if you're concerned regarding safety, if a criminal would work their way through the ranks.
Oh
and she
my
said,
God.
oh, well, I don't know if a criminal would go that far in order to get to me. You have no concept of reality.
You're an idiot.
And then on top of that, the mere fact that not only her, but also her team just said, hey, we're going for this goal by any means possible or necessary, and we just gonna pile through whoever
comes in the dough. Whoever come in the dough.
They're like, Terry, you want
flew
some?
in
Like, yeah, Terry's like, yeah,
from
that's like
out of the country.
They flew in from out of the country?
Yeah. And we'll talk about how filthy the dudes are down the line. But I cannot understand.
I'm actually getting more intrigued in this for some reason as
like
it's going.
this, the full-on documentary.
And more enraged. Not enraged.
Going viral on Twitter. It's 47
confused,
minutes.
bewildered.
You could watch
frustrated,
it and not leave saying
annoyed.
She's a disgusting human being.
So many guys left it really last minute, and we were getting messages today like, can I still do it?
Yeah.
But we had so many people drop out.
Yeah.
So when I was like going for like, yes, can you make it to London today? And a lot of them were like, yeah, that's fine. We were just like scrambling to get guys. So I was outside having a smoke with them all. We were just all talking and getting along, and then we come back in and the music come back, and it was really nice.
There
were a couple guys that
I might, hey, you
she was like, you trying to get something, bro?
You trying to get laid? He's like, I am actually trying to get laid. I'll make it over there.
Has it been like that now?
I can make it.
Now,
I can make it.
There are some individuals who just so happen to have kinks. But you have to take into account how deranged, not only Lily, but her entire team just so happens to be.
That's crazy.
You can hear the jubilance and the glee, the elation from her PA throughout this entire process. Although there was a level of stress that she happened to endure just trying to organize everything, she was loving every single minute of it. Lily is not the only guilty party here alongside the 100 men. We'll get to that in a minute. But you have to really look at the totality of this entire situation to allow anybody, for all intents and purposes, to go and pull up and penetrate this harlot with no sort of sense.
No background, no nothing, no knowledge.
Because remember, there was a
Can you
point
still
in
make
the
it
midst of the documentary.
today?
Lily
Did you get
didn't
checked? Nah.
know
But yeah, I can make it.
that HIV can be transmitted by way of semen to the mouth.
So you would let like these guys do that on your face?
Yeah.
And in your mouth?
Yeah.
What if they had HIV?
Is that where it comes from? The spunk in the mouth?
It can.
Oh, really? See, I've never really thought about that. Last time when I did it, all of them put it in their mouths.
Well, Adonis, you don't understand. There's little to no risk of contracting HIV by way of oral sex, especially a situation where you don't have a cut inside of your mouth. Because it's such a small percentage, there's really no risk for doing the act. Are you stupid?
Are you
go down
dumb?
to Guinness for sure, though.
Why would you even take the chance? And furthermore, the fact that your profession just so happens to be sex work, why are you not even cognizant of the fact of how you can contract the disease?
Exactly.
Even
You
if it's a
shouldn't even know how
small
you
risk,
do it.
you have to be aware
of it.
This is no different than the whole Gucci third leg situation that was going viral on Twitter, where you had all these doggone harlots who were giving blowjobs to a dude who had a visible lesion on his appendage. But because they were able to blow up and get all these new signups on their OnlyFans, they just bypassed the risk of contracting by, oh no, it's gonna be all right. I'm not gonna be the one who gets it. You spend your entire time thinking shit won't happen to you until it does. And not only was Lily willfully ignorant, her team was willfully ignorant, and the totality of the group were collectively.
And they're going for 1,000. So they're going to be even more willfully ignorant when they're going for 1,000.
Precautions of any form of prevention of sexually transmitted diseases. I would not be surprised if news were to break that she just so happens to have contracted a bevy of diseases.
Oh, yeah.
Laundry list of diseases. I would not be surprised.
A, she was a hooer. B, she was a hooer.
When was the last time you ate?
See?
I had I think I had a yam yam. Yam yam, is that what they're called? A little pastry. And then I think I had a sandwich, and that was and then the rest come.
She was out here swallowing numerous different loads of random dudes. Maybe not all 100. Shit, maybe not even 50. At least 25, perhaps. Let's go with 10%.
She was just so
We'll give her 10.
all of it, dude. Like, what do you, like...
You want some? Oh man, we had to skip lunch because we were running behind. I guess I could glug.
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming?
It's not for the weak, girls, if I'm honest. It was hard. I don't know if I'd recommend it.
Why not?
I think if you're a different type of girl, it's very like, it's kind of like being a prostitute in a sense of like, it's just a different feeling. I don't know how to explain it, like.
It's not like just having.
You're a punching bag?
Yeah, yeah. Just one in, one out, like it feels intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
She's getting emotional.
Miss me with the crocodile tears. Ma'am, you're a prostitute. You notice how she tries to disassociate herself from prostitute? That's exactly what the OnlyFans method
What is she crying
where you
for?
think you're some form of an adult film's actress.
Maybe it just hit her what
Or
she
somehow
just
of
did.
an adult.
What she just did? Yeah, and when he asked the question.
You know, pretty much doing the act for cash on corners. You're not a prostitute. No, ma'am, you're a prostitute. The individuals who just so happen to be subscribers on your OF, they paid you to engage in the act. Granted, the individuals who got the phone call from their friends or just so happened to maybe have seen the ad on social media and pulled up and paid nothing, maybe they can get away with, hey, I ain't have to pay no bread. But overall, ma'am, you're a prostitute. Don't try to disassociate yourself. You're a prostitute. And the fact that she's sitting here crying lets you know just how immoral this just so happens to be. I saw some people on Twitter trying to make it seem as if she's emotional and overwhelmed because, well,
emotionally overwhelmed,
goal, as if this was some form of Super Bowl. Last I checked,
for
Super Bowl
taking
champions
dick.
don't cry like this when they win it.
Yeah,
you could be
There's nothing but regret in her face. She knows she fucked up. She knows
Where's she going
this
for
is
more,
the
though?
lowest possible thing she could possibly do. Until, of course, she advertised she's going to end up doing 1,000, which we're going to talk on that in a bit. But this is nothing more than the demonic sort of spirit that exists within this harlot. And that's exactly what she is, a harlot. And we need to call these
harlot.
these quarters wanton wenches, these harlots exactly what
call her a harlot.
Just that. Prostitutes, harlots, courtesan, wanton wenches. Let's stop trying to sit over here and make excuses for them. I said this in the midst of my reaction that I have up on Patreon. Think about how many different motherfucking porn stars have killed themselves or maybe sat there and regretted all of their decisions. Find me a multitude of them who are now in their 50s, 60s, 70s, who look back with glee behind what it is that they did.
That was great.
You'll find a few. There's a small percentage. But the vast majority, I was young, I was naive, I should have listened when they told me it was a bad idea, but then the money was so fast. The attention was overwhelming. So I did all of this to satisfy my own ego. That's exactly what this is. And it's no different.
For her,
and she's willfully and unilaterally making these decisions to continue to push this forth. Because all this did was get as much attention as she wants on her possible to now drive forth, and now we're going to get to that portion, the 1,000 man.
I want to be the first person to be with 1,000 guys in one day.
Logistically, how long are you going to spend with each man?
In out, I'm hoping a couple seconds at most.
A couple seconds?
Some other girls there, make it a bit of an event that the guys actually want to come to and enjoy. And, you know, they don't just get 2 seconds, they get a little bit longer. So I started doing porn a year ago.
Make it an event.
And I just loved it so much. And I think my was getting quite mundane, and that's when I decided to kind of ramp it up and do some challenges. I'm doing what I love and what I enjoy and making a career out of it, so what's wrong with that, you know?
She
said go for it on that one. That's fine.
In the midst of that soliloquy where she
Providing
bloviated
a
about
service
why
to
it
the
is that
community.
she shouldn't feel bad.
Yeah, right.
This
Hey.
1,000 man.
I like how you're.
To break
That's a good point of view, you know. There's 1,000. Hey, they want to do it. Hey, they want to get laid. You just walk in and
to the
she'll take you.
And now she's seeing an uptick.
Literally.
Anybody who's
literally
down the rabbit hole of pornography can tell you. That gets to a point where you continually start to go to the extreme in what it is that you're watching because the regular stuff has now become relatively vanilla. Hence why I always advocate against leaving cold turkey and watching this, you know, debauchery completely, right? But in the midst of all of this, this is what she wants to do.
It is.
So you can't make her out to be some form of victim because at the end of the day, there are human beings who, for all intents and purposes, are just built to be bad. There are some people who are just wired differently that are criminals. I guess the same thing can be said for courtesan, wanton, wench, harlot, prostitutes.
Yeah.
This just what she want to be. You could sit here and say, find God and all this other stuff. Oh, no. Some of these people, this is just what they want to do. So why are we making it seem as if she's some form of victim? Because she's going out of her way to continually perform these acts. And I'll close with this, because I don't want to drag this on longer than it needs to be, right? Now, I'm going to address the 100 dudes, and eventually, I would hope not, the 1,000 dudes that's going to participate in this train. Wouldn't call it a gangbang because they're all not participating at the same time.
It's gonna be something weird though. I don't know how you're gonna do
It's
that.
one thing if it's her who's being a cum receptacle, legs spread open, allowing all people to now walk up in there and penetrate her vulva region. But you have a unilateral decision to be made. For one, if you want to go and you subscribe on an OnlyFans, that's one thing. You pay your whatever amount it is for the 30 days, or if you want the 6 months or 12 months or whatever the case may be, and how they work their subscription service over there. If you want to get your fix and grab your lotion and pleasure yourself at the end of the evening, although distasteful, you're not flying to a location or traveling to a location if you lived and localized within that particular city or in that particular country to go and engage in the act and follow 100 dudes. Because remember, there was a moment in the documentary, this is why I implore you guys go and watch it in its entirety, where there was a guy who was unaware of where in the 100 he ended up landing at, because he didn't know how many people had slept with her prior and no clue of how many after. The only people who had an idea of where they were on the number was the first 6 people who messed around and pulled up. And they were waiting as she got ready to begin the festivities. You guys are absolutely and utterly disgusting. Every single one of them. And furthermore, the fact that they're all blurred out, not only just from the documentary, but vast majority of them didn't want to show their faces, didn't want to be taped. There was a moment in which the documenter, the interviewer guy had to ultimately, he was sent out of the room because I don't want to say it was because he was taping the dudes or whatever the case just so happens to be as they were waiting to get called in, but that probably played a role. These guys know for a fact if it was exposed that they participated in this,
it was
I
not
excursion, they would be
bet you there was some
the
married,
high
I bet
heavens
you there was
for
some married
participating.
dudes that showed up.
The guys who called their friends, I can almost guarantee you there's no way for me to prove this, but vast majority of those guys were probably incredibly young. I would say between 18 to maybe 25. There's no doubt in my mind that there probably are a few who was in their late 20s, their 30s, and so on. Definitely probably called a friend and said, hey man, I just slept with Lily Phillips. You want to pull up? She's letting anybody hit right now, right? But even still, you're considered the lower tier of men that just so happened to exist out here. Because you can't walk around with your chest poked out, making it seem as if there's anything to be proud about in engaging in this particular kind of activity. There was a guy who flew from Switzerland to London to engage in the act. I believe they were in Notting Hill for this whole thing. You're flying from a different country, and I said this in my breakdown. I understand there is an element of horniness that can take over, and any dude can tell you. I can't tell you the female experience when they're horny or whatever the case may be, or feral, right? But I can tell you from the man's experience, there's a portion of our brain that just completely shuts the fuck off when we happen to get horny. And all of a sudden, you're going to do everything in your power to get that doggone nut off before you can activate the post-nut clarity. I completely understand that, but this was something that was advertised in advance for a month. Hence why you probably had a lot of dudes who came to their senses, pun intended, and said, oh, wait a minute, I'm tripping.
I didn't trip it. I can't.
These dudes probably were restraining themselves in anticipation of this particular date. And then all of a sudden, when they went through with it, I can guarantee you it's a few individuals amongst that group who are really satisfied in going through with the entire thing. I promise you the bulk share of them messed around and had an element of shame.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll say this before I close.
Oh, yeah. Especially after the nut.
Yeah, it's
There's
like,
that nut there. Like, oh.
of that Airbnb. I don't know if a lawsuit can be sent
shit,
out,
bro.
but I would be hard pressed to imagine
Felt good, but damn, man.
watching this documentary and being like, hey, man, I got no problem with a 100-person train taking place in my space. Because think about it. You go to try to book a location on Airbnb. Immediately, you'll read no parties, no loud music, quiet time at this particular time, unless you're in a different spot to where they prioritize people being able to go to no parties. I promise you, when you go and you book and it says, hey, what are you in town for or whatever, had she wrote or her manager wrote or the PA just so happened to write, yeah, we're here to experiment in 100 people sleeping with Miss Phillips inside of your unit. You don't mind that, right? And we'll make sure to bring condoms and clean up the semen inside. Thank you very much for letting us rent your space. You think they would have approved that?
Nah.
So I don't know if there's clearance for a lawsuit at all. All I know is somebody got to get called into question. But I'll say this much to the dudes. Every single one of y'all motherfuckers needs to be ashamed of this. You may not be as low down as her, but you're definitely incredibly close. And there's no reason why you would go without critique. I will say
I don't feel bad because I'm one of the 1% don't give a fuck.
I think she enjoyed every single moment
and I'm one of the guys that do
this.
give a
She
fuck.
probably had her variation.
I made sure I was number 99.
And she had her crocodile tears and feeling her regret. And
I don't want to go in until number 100.
Being number 87 was not
with 1,000 dudes in a 24-hour.
I got there at 8 in the morning and waited around all day.
I bet.
Really think about the
He had a croissant in hand and everything.
I did. I brought breakfast for the other dudes who was waiting.
Really?
Yeah, ready to do this?
It's gonna be a good day. Let's go.
Time in which the switch of dudes has to happen. There's gonna.
I was out looking at the face of regret on every dude.
Don't look at no eye contact. No eye contact.
Almost guaranteed the vast majority you are not going.
And I was like, hey, boy, clapping for everyone.
Traveled from wherever it is that you traveled from to go and engage in the act with your favorite.
I walked inside for the gangbang. I was like, you want to join? No, I'm last. I'm last, but I'm gonna watch.
Side to participating in this whatsoever.
Hell no.
So have some element
I was in the corner like,
and abstain from not only
she's in there all day too, bro.
but
That shit
this
crazy.
genre of content through and through. Because there is no positive whatsoever. Everybody has their phase. Everybody has their own journey. But I'm telling you something right now. There's no way you can watch this in its entirety and not be utterly
that's kind of nasty, bro.
It's kind of crazy.
Do better.
Could you do the death by Snoo Snoo from Futurama, where they just the Amazonians just continue to fuck them until they die?
Yes.
There is no other definition than that.
You heard Chisel.
There is no sympathy that should be sent out. There's no feeling bad that should be sent out.
I'm with him though, for real.
She's trying to disassociate
I'm
herself from the reality
honestly
of what it is.
I think she
if you're a religious man. Or
I know you heard they did say she do it a service.
Everybody mess around and make it to the promised land.
Yeah, but like,
understand if you express.
That's only because you were there.
That is fair. But at her core's core, this is somebody who wants to be a harlot. And if that's what she wants to be,
dude, Chisel is
let her be
not happy.
Just make sure you and yours don't participate.
As she announced to her fans that in February of 2025, she would be sleeping with 1,000 men in a single day to break the world record.
Wait, to break the record? What is the record?
Now, this was just the world.
Isn't that the record?
Because in February, I'm going to be the first person ever to reach
Guinness gotta get
4
on this.
digits of guys all in one day. Yes, 1,000 guys.
How is that
Maybe what we witnessed that night was just someone overwhelmed with emotion after completing such a monumental challenge. Or maybe we saw the true toll this career can have on a person.
I might have to look up that fucking documentary.
I mean, you can watch it.
What's up?
I said you go ahead and watch it.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I wasn't saying right now. No, not right now. I wouldn't put you through that. I don't even know if I want to watch it, but I'm curious.
Hey, I appreciate you watching the entire video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button.
I got all the info I needed out of that.
Yeah, I say I wouldn't do that.
the way out if you haven't already. And on top of that, hit that notification bell as well. For whatever reason, YouTube's only showing my videos to 20% of my subscribers. So if you have already turned on the notification bell, turn it off, turn it back on. If you never turn it on, turn it on.
Yeah, definitely not good. I got a ton of interesting videos on tonight too. Got a ton of shit.
Ah, shit, bro.
I know, it's about your time to leave, huh?
Maybe, and so. Almost 3. We almost got a good 3 hours out of this.
Oh, nice.
Not bad.
Oh yeah, here's the new Christmas song. I forgot he put it at the beginning of his food videos. Huh.
It's a good holiday song already.
Happy holidays.